$5 checks for people's birthdays and puts it in, a little envelope there. Anyways, our immigration system sucks. The U.S. immigration courts are just filled to the brim, and because you have this record-breaking increase of migrants coming, they're seeking asylum, they're, being apprehended while crossing the border illegally. There is this backlog grown by more than 1 million over the last fiscal year, and is triple what it was in 2019. It's now at 3 million cases back to back. They're never going to get through any of this. It's comical at this point. And a couple things about it. It is the biggest, I think, since the 70s. The number of people that are coming in. Illegally, they can ask for asylum, and the United States has to have a hearing by law. And we have so many that the courts, that the immigration judges who actually work for the government, they're not independent judges, just let them go in the country and give them a date to show up, which is 5 years down the road. And this is going to kill Joe Biden, even though he deported more people than Obama did. By the way, any of the Republican presidents, certainly more than Donald Trump. And he has been stopped from deporting more because of law and the courts to stop him from doing it, but it's still going to kill him. The vast majority of them don't show up. There's zero conflict. Yeah, millions and millions of illegal aliens.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So why don't they just immediately hold a hearing when they come and cross the border?
They don't have enough judges. Not even close. Look at the backlog. They would need thousands more judges. And what are there? Maybe a dozen? No. There are several. Maybe 3? Yeah, I think there are several hundred. Is it one guy? Yeah, it's just, it's really crazy. And how many of them act? Well, here is the reason. And now we have another spin, which I think is very important to look at. What they're arguing is persecution in their home country. That they are leaving, not for money. If they say, because I'm broke, I'm starving, that doesn't do it. That is not the basis for asylum. It is political persecution where if we go back, we will be punished. We will be killed. We will be tortured. We'll be put in prison if we talk against our government. Absolutely true. It is legitimate the basis of asylum. Now, proving it is a whole different animal, but you've got people, go to Venezuela and see what Maduro does to people. Go to Bolivia. People, they destroy those countries. Argentina just went hard right. Venezuela used to be the wealthiest country in all of South America. It was one of Caracas was one of the great cities of the world. And it's gone into complete. Is it reciprocated? Like if Trump gets elected, liberals will over to Mexico and say, Trump is such an isolationist, he would let them lie. And that may be one of those, one of the reasons that Trump is doing so well. Because he is not a big fan of immigration. He is not a big fan of our involvement in the world, that to be part of the world community. He doesn't want to hear it. Our immigration is imperative to America. It is imperative to who we are. It does better. Yeah, Lazarus, the bottom of the Empire State. Give us the wretched. Give us the poor. Well, it's working. But that's not the entire state focus. But no, it's the lady. The lady who wrote the poem. The lady who wrote the poem. The big torch.
The one standing next to Wayne.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's take a break. Well said. Amy is live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Former President Trump has won the Iowa caucuses. The results are the first in what will be a month-long effort by Trump to secure the Republican nomination for president for a third time. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis came in second last night, with former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley in third. Caucus voters braved below-zero temperatures to cast their ballots, but turnout was lower than the record set in 2016. News brought to you by Service Champion. A new push is underway in California to legalize psychedelics. The Bill is expected to be introduced in the next few weeks that would allow psychedelic-assisted therapy and would create a roadmap of what it would look like. Legislation passed the Assembly Health Committee last week that would fund a work group to study the benefits of the treatment. Governor Newsom vetoed a bill last year to decriminalize psychedelics, saying the state needed to establish treatment guidelines first. A man from Woodland Hills is trying to find his stolen 1962 Chevy Impala convertible.
The seafoam green lowrider was in pristine condition when it was taken from the home of Seth Wayne on January 11th, which also happened to be his birthday.
I've been wanting, this specific car for a long time. We were looking for about a year for this car.
Wayne told ABC7 he bought the car on Christmas Eve and is worth $100,000. They say they've seen surveillance video of two men trying to move the car away from the home by pushing it with a Prius on Ventura Boulevard. At one point, the guys were seen trying to hotwire the car. Wayne says he's heard the car was spotted in Canoga Park. Steve Gregory, KFI News.
North Korean leader Kim Jong-un says his country will no longer pursue reconciliation with South Korea. He called for rewriting the North Constitution to eliminate the idea of shared statehood between the countries. Tensions have risen over the pace of Kim's weapons development and the South's military exercises with the U.S. South Korea's president says the comments from the North show the anti-national nature of Kim's government and says Seoul is maintaining defense readiness. Randy's Donuts is expanding its menu. The Inglewood-based bakery and coffee chain, built in 1952, has added a new selection of drinks, including coffee, boba, milkshakes, and chilled and frozen options. Randy's is a local landmark known for its enormous rooftop donut on Manchester Boulevard. It's selling the new drinks at all of its locations in Southern California and also Las Vegas. We'll check some problems on the 710 with the KFI in the sky next.
No matter what business you are in, I have no idea what business you're in, but I tell you, I do know technology is part of it. So let me suggest looking at NetSuite by Oracle to help your business. What NetSuite does is help you do what all of us want to do who are in business. That's simply make more money. And here's how it works. You get enough information that you know what your business is like in an instant, what is going on right now that helps you make decisions. 37,000 businesses upgraded their accounting, their finance, inventory management investments you're doing, and a whole lot more. NetSuite has been doing this for 25 years, so you'll be able to manage the risk, get reliable forecasts about what's going to happen, improve margins, drive down expenses, and increase revenue. Everything to help you out in one customized operation and place solution. Even replace that accounting software that you and I have outgrown. So download the NetSuite checklist to see if they can help you, and it is absolutely free. Go to netsuite.com/KFI. That's NetSuite as an office suite. netsuite.com/KFI.
Southland weather from KFI, a lot of clouds, a little bit of sun, highs in the 60s to about 70. Overnight lows in the 40s and 50s. A couple degrees cooler for tomorrow with mostly cloudy skies. Partly cloudy Thursday and Friday with highs in the 60s to about 70. We do have a chance of rain rolling in overnight Friday, then a half to an inch of rain expected through the weekend. Highs in the 50s and 60s. It's 47 in Irvine, 48 Huntington Beach. We've got a crash in Long Beach on the 710.
So the 710 northbound past the 91. Crash there in the two right lanes, and you are jammed up back to Long Beach Boulevard. You're trying to get through Pomona, crash there as well. The 10 eastbound right before Gary Avenue. The two right lanes are blocked, and it is slow back to Fairfax. A big rig involved in that one. And back to Long Beach. Problems on the 710 southbound at the 91. Two middle lanes are blocked below back there. Police drivers pay have eye in the sky.
Speak It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
This is Jacob and Ronnie. If you've been in an accident, call 844-24-JACOB. Hey, you look. The prevailing opinion is you don't live it. You don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it. By being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
You can make the decision right now to get lasting relief from that awful joint pain for 2024.
Don't go another year compromising because of that pain in your knees or your shoulder. Call QC Kinetics. It's the nation's leader in regenerative non-surgical pain relief.
Your body has what it needs to restore and repair that damaged joint tissue, and QC Kinetics can make it happen. No drugs, no surgery, no downtime.
This is the future of pain treatments. QC has tens of thousands of satisfied patients all over America. People with back pain or hip pain, any pain associated with arthritis or an injury.
This is not a Band-Aid. This is a revolutionary treatment that can get you moving again. Get your life back, and listen, it's non-surgical.
If this is the year you decide to fight back against that pain, take the first step now. Call QC Kinetics. Get a free consultation on the calendar today.
Call QC Kinetics in Glendale, Orange, Mission Viejo, and now in Costa Mesa, 213-997-PAIN.
That's 213-997-PAIN. QC Kinetics, 213-997-PAIN. The voice of the people, for better or worse. Moist Line with John Cobell. Twice every Friday between 3 and 4 on KFI. KFI AM 640. Bill Campbell here, the morning crew. It is a Tuesday morning, January 16th. Hey, Neil, just before we went to break, you asked how many immigration judges there were, and I said in the hundreds, right? Yes, 500. Wow. Yeah, that's it, huh? That's it. 500 judges for a backlog of millions. Let's move on. Amy, Neil, me.
Some swatting at the White House. So, you know, in the swatting is when somebody makes a fake call and then the SWAT team, and there's a huge police response to it. So apparently somebody called 911 Monday morning and falsely claims there was a fire at the White House and that someone was trapped inside. Happened around 7 o'clock local time. Washington Fire and Emergency Medical Services responded. There wasn't any police presence there, but the communications director for the city, Fire and EMS, said it's in the same spirit that was swatted.
Yeah, but don't they have their own fire department or something on hand? Don't they have, would they have just regular firefighters come in? Yeah, I think so. I don't think you have a fire department. Yeah, they obviously are going to know there's a fire. They certainly have smoke alarms every 2 weeks. They certainly have technology that would tell there's a fire more than we have. So I don't think they have a protocol of some kind. Yeah, of course they do, but they don't have a fire department. I don't know. Disneyland does. Disneyland's a little bit bigger. And Disneyland's fire department is in that old museum fire department right off as Main Street starts.
They actually have one.
They have a real fire department. Yeah. They have trucks and everything. Oh, I think it's a truck. Okay. But where do they keep that? Ann knows because her daughter works at Disneyland with the horses.
Yeah, it's on Main Street. It's in that little, there's a little fire department.
And but they have the old-fashioned, that antique fire truck there at the beginning, and it's basically an attraction. You want to know something interesting about fire trucks? There is one standard. It doesn't matter how old the vehicle is. If you can have one from the 1920s or whatever, they all have the same fitting. So any hose, any apparatus, modern day, would fit on any of the lineage. Didn't know there. Didn't know. Wait, there's a Jeopardy question. Okay. All right. Elton John, he's an EGOT. I'm going to make sure I pronounce that right. EGOT. Yep. I didn't want people saying something else. So yesterday, winning his Emmy, now he's got an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and Tony, just like Jennifer Hudson, Mel Brooks, Goldberg, Audrey Hepburn.
EGOTs are big.
That's pretty cool. I think, what are they, like 20?
There's 19 of them.
Wow, good call. Yeah, it's pretty rare.
And it was for the Dodger Stadium concert.
I saw your picture posted today.
Yeah, that was a spectacular concert too. More just heart-wrenching news out of Gaza, and that is Hamas released 3 videos in 24 hours. The first one, released on Sunday, showed clips of 3 of the hostages. They were talking into the camera. The video ended with the caption saying, "Tomorrow we will inform you of their fate." Then a second video was released and repeated the message, by Israeli bomb.
Well, I mean, there's no such thing as Hamas that can actually kill anybody. Every person that has died that was a hostage, it was Israeli bomb or Israeli fire that did it. Hamas doesn't kill anybody, as you know. That's certainly their position. I have a question, and that is they have the remains of people that were killed those first days. Where the hell do they keep them?
They have some of them in refrigerators.
Yeah, and how about the power that hasn't been there in massive time? I mean, I guess they use the refrigeration they have, the electricity they have, because Hamas is taking any electricity that's out there. It's so weird, so strange. And of course, one world is not calling for the release of the hostages. That's off the table. It's only Israel stuff. Was it 100 days? The mark of 100 days yesterday?
Yeah. On Sunday.
Yeah. And this is going to keep on going for months, according to Netanyahu in the War Council. Okay, this is something of note because it's not been done before that I'm aware of, but you've got Los Angeles County Probation Department installing razor wire along the walls of Los Padrinos Juvenile Hall, saying they plan to put up full airport-style body scanners within the next month or so. This is to prevent two things: escape, obviously, and to slow down or stop the influx of drugs. But you do this, I don't know, a year ago or something like that. Most people are going to stay in a juvenile facility. Don't put those up. Now, you've had two violent escapes or attempted escapes. You've got drugs influxing New York, the other secure youth treatment facility in Silmar. So I guess they have what they need to move forward to get this done. I wonder what those people are saying now that are anti this kind of security.
Who called you? I didn't call.
It's not juveniles.
Open the door.
Oh, you said you could go.
I have to go to work. No, I have to go to work. I'm not willing to be late for work. I have to. Nothing. I have to go to work. I don't even know why you guys are here. Get away from me, please. You're making me feel I want the chief of police here. Whoever the supervisor is, I want here. Okay, I have to go to work. I don't have time for this, sir. I have to go to work. No, I didn't. I don't know who called you. I didn't call you. 603.
I can lift a whole shop back there.
I'm from New Hampshire. I'm from Massachusetts originally. Me? I have to get ready, sir. I have to go to work. I have to go to work.
Iran appears to
Oh,
be directly into the
So that's the number to call 911.
I actually have two different numbers.
That's the number to call 911.
Oh, you're right. It was. Okay. I have to go to work, y'all. I have to go to work. I have to go to work. I have to go to work. I'm not talking to you. I'm not speaking to you. I have to go to work.
That it condemns Iran's
I have to go to work. You guys are gonna cause me to lose my job. Please let me go to work. There's no one inside. Please let me go. Please, I have to go to work. I have to go to work, sir.
This was a couple of weeks ago, several weeks ago. And they tried to credit for, of course, Iran said this is the relationship with Israel.
Like, over what? Why are you guys there?
An abscess on his head. It's Israel that caused the abscess. The abscess is Israel. That is what was said. And it's not on his head. No. Ooh. Okay, we're going to take our last break. Handle on the news, and let's check in with Amy King live in the KFI 24-hour news.
A crack in the cockpit window of a Boeing 737 has forced a Japanese flight to return to Japan. All Nippon Airways says the landing was made under normal conditions and the plane did not lose cabin pressure at any time. This happened happened just over a week after the door plug of a Boeing 737 MAX 9 blew out on an Alaska Airlines flight from Portland to Ontario. Eleanor Bass is headed to Washington, D.C. She's going to be at the 3-day conference of mayors and is expected to speak about homelessness. Last year, Bass was appointed as chair of the conference's task force on homelessness. More than 250 mayors in cities with populations of 30,000 or more will be at the conference. Succession and The Bear teamed up at the Emmys. Both won 6 Emmys last night, including Best Drama and Best Comedy Series. Succession was nominated for a whopping 27. The Bear was nominated for 13. We'll take a look at some problems on the 10 with the AFI in the sky next.
So we Americans pay about $5 billion a year to control termite and repair termite damage. Termites are so destructive that they cause more property damage than every single natural disaster in the United States combined. Thunderstorms, blizzards, earthquakes, floods. Living debt only approaches Pacific Coast termite. Even if you don't think you have termites at home, it's worth someone coming out and checking, and it's absolutely free. And they'll tell you that you don't have termites, great news. When you do, let's get to work, because termites start munching your house immediately. And the Pacific Coast termite will come out with that free inspection. And if they do trick your home, there's absolutely no tanking. The tanking is horrible. 800 Pacific, mention Pacific Coast Termite, or go to PacificCoastTermite.com, PacificCoastTermite.com, 800 Pacific.
Pacific Coast Termite, just termite.
The clean, friendly way.
A little bit of sun with some clouds rolling through, highs in the 60s to about 70. This report brought to you by your Amazon Fresh grocery store. We've got a crash in Pomona on the 10th.
It's going to be the eastbound side, right before Gary Avenue. 2 right lanes are blocked. The big rig is involved in this. Some traffic jammed back from Fairflex Drive. Trying to get through Long Beach, not so easy right now on the 710. 710 northbound past 91. Looks like the trailer came unhitched from its cabin, and now the 2 right lanes are blocked. Traffic jammed up back from Long Beach Boulevard. And at Sun Valley, it crashed by freeway northbound Lancaster. The 3 right lanes blocked there. Full cold start, AFI in the sky.
Start the year with savings at your local Amazon Fresh grocery store. Stock up on wellness staples you'll love, from supplements and smoothie ingredients to food storage and skincare. Amazon Fresh has wellness for every wallet. Find a store near you.
This report is sponsored by Unbound.org. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice: continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change the future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at Unbound.org.
Prescription frequently online consultation with a healthcare provider will determine if appropriate prescriptions. Pharmacy website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but it's 95% cheaper, and you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation. The switch you'll be prescribed a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right, get generic to Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with 0 copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even on difficult jobs. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO.
tracks from iconic artists. Just search ECUs and listen now on your free iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
He is 72 years old, spent 9 episodes in a journey to find a second chance at love. Oh, yeah. Could you imagine being in bed with that?
Can I? No. Can you?
No.
Okay, well, Gary and Shannon. Oh, there it is. Live 9 to 1 p.m. on KFI. And on demand anytime on the iHeartRadio app.
What is this song? I've never heard it before in my life. Let it hold on to it.
AM 640 on a Tuesday morning, January 16th, and let's finish handle on the news with Amy King, Neil, and I'm not even going to say what he put up on the screen. I just think it's a way to remind you, a friendly way to remind you. It did remind me. It does remind me. And by the way, I couldn't agree more with your description.
With all
Yes. So, 2022, that holiday season, everybody remembers where Southwest and all the flights were canceled and it was technical glitching and all of that. Well, Southwest has canceled more than 700 flights, about 18% of its schedule. But this time it's due to all the harsh winter weather conditions. Isn't that insane? Well, have you seen the video of what the weather is like? Yeah, it's bizarre. It is great. I mean, straight out blizzards, like Antarctica blizzards. Yeah, people that are used to the weather and have lived in the weather are going, we're not used to this. Last night, the weather person on ABC News said frostbite, you go outside and frostbite kicks in 10 minutes. Wow. That's like nausea in this program. Yeah. Well, about 10 minutes in, my tummy just starts to get a little bubble dust.
Well, Drizzly is going down. Uber is shutting down its alcohol delivery app. It's called Drizzly. It's been around for about 3 years. Uber acquired it for $1.1 billion. And Drizzly has grown to become the largest online marketplace for alcohol in North America. Of course, it was launched during the pandemic era. Neil, I remember us talking about this on the book report.
Oh, yeah.
It was a big thing to get alcohol delivered to your house. But apparently it's an effort for Uber to consolidate everything into its Uber Eats.
Yeah. Another company that they're shutting down, Corner Shop, which they also paid $1 billion for or more. Boy, someone's making a great decision on the Uber part. Yeah, but really, they just kind of fold this in. It's the technology they're not using anymore. They're just folding it into Uber Eats. And you still can get alcohol. You can still get groceries. Yeah, they probably could have paid for it. Yeah, they probably could have done it without spending $1 billion on Drizzly. Yeah, probably at this point. This is bizarre and horrible and gut-wrenching all in one. You have Lincoln Park, Memorial Park, rather, historic Parsons Cemetery hit by thieves. This is just a week or so after this happened to a nearby Memorial Park. This was the first integrated cemetery, one of the first in Los Angeles County. Some veterans dating back to the Civil War laid to rest on these hallowed grounds, and wingnuts are going out there and stealing anything bronze. So nameplates, they attempted to take out I think it's a bust of Lincoln, Abraham Lincoln. They can tell that they're using a cleaning material to take off the patina to see and make sure that they are bronze. And so who's worse, the people that are stealing it or the companies that are accepting it and melting it down, the recycling companies that are taking it in? Doesn't take a genius to figure out these are. I thought about that cemetery. I thought about that. It's not expensive or difficult to melt them down yourself. So they could very well be melting them back into blocks or bricks and selling them off that way. Because like you, I agree. If somebody's bringing in a headstone marker, brass marker, so now you've got families and friends going in there with tape and paper to write the name of their loved ones and put them on the headstone. Just horrific. Kill them all.
So Apple has found a workaround, sort of, to get around the watch ban. So you'll remember that the new Apple Watch has this nifty little function, a pulse oximeter, which is a medical scanner that measures the oxygen concentration in the bloodstream. Well, then another company, Massimo in Irvine, said, you can't use that. That's our technology. And a U.S. court banned the watch. So Apple has come up with a fix. But the fix is that they're getting rid of that feature.
Yeah, when you go to the doctor, go to the hospital, that's a little doodad they put on your finger. Yeah. That measures blood oxygen. And it's been around for a very, very long time. But the weird thing is, didn't Apple really push the fitness aspect of the watch and all the medical benefits, and they're going to now back off on that? The technology, I think, is limited to when you fall down and you're dying of a heart attack. They'll be able to measure that. They'll be able to tell you when you hit the ground, yeah, someone has died. Yeah. Someone has died. You are dead. USC quarterback Caleb Williams is open to the draft. He announced on Instagram on Monday. Of course, he's the Heisman Trophy winner from 2022. And although the Trojans had a crap year, or season rather, he is a standout. And he said since he was 10, he wanted to play football. So that's his dream, and he's going to follow it.
Or does he have to play for Chicago, though?
Yeah, but it makes a lot of sense going to pro football. And skipping the last season and skip the Holiday Bowl is what happens if you get injured and you can't play again. Grab that first contract and go right into the NFL. And he's not going to be the backup quarterback, I don't think. I think he's going to go right into being the guy. And you're right, he plays for Chicago, and Chicago was 0-46 this year, weren't they? Don't look at me.
Close
Do they have Shannon Barron? I have no clue. We have to have Shannon, yeah.
Influencers probably already know this, but there are some very Instagrammable museums around the country, and a couple of them are right here. New York's Museum of Modern Art is number one, but in fourth place is the LA County Museum of Art, LACMA. They had 916,965 total hashtags. And then that is. And after LACMA is the Broad, which is in downtown LA. It's got lots of pieces from the 1950s to present by Jean-Marc Basquiat and Andy Warhol.
Did you say the Broad?
Yeah, the Broad.
Is that Broad? What's his name?
So is it the Broad?
I think so. I think
It's
the
so
guy.
Broad.
I think the guy who was B&K or K&B, the builder. I think it is the Broad part of K&B. You can look that up and see if I'm wrong with that one. Because generally I am. All right, guys, we're done. Coming up, one of the themes of the Republican campaign, the primary campaign, is California. And what the hell do we have to do with it? I'll share that story when we come back. This is KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. You can listen to KFI everywhere, like you haven't noticed.
KFI.
And the KOST HD2
Los Angeles, Orange County.
live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Two bad guys busted. I'm Amy King, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. Two thieves who hit a pharmacy in Chino Hills are accused of violence toward deputies.
One thief is accused of throwing a wrench at a deputy's head, and another allegedly dragged a deputy about 30 feet with a car. The San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department says the security camera company alerted deputies to the burglary Sunday. When deputies arrived, the thieves took off running. The thief who allegedly threw the wrench was arrested after a short foot chase. The thief who allegedly dragged the deputy 30 feet took off in that car until he lost control. He was arrested after a foot chase near the 60 in Roland Heights. A third thief was also arrested. Reporting live,
say 31,000 machine gun conversion devices have been taken off the streets in the last 5 years.
Simply possessing a conversion device can carry a sentence of up to 10 years in federal prison.
U.S. Attorney LA spokesman here in McAvoy says the devices, also known as switches, chips, or auto steers, are considered by federal law to be machine guns, even if the person's caught with the device but no gun.
These conversion devices can convert semi-automatic pistols and rifles into fully automatic weapons in less than 60 seconds. One pull of the trigger can release all the ammunition in the magazine.
McAvoy says the devices are being advertised as legal, but
That ain't true.
in LA, Corbin Carson, KFI News.
A new push is underway in California to legalize psychedelics. A bill is expected to be introduced in the next few weeks that would allow psychedelic-assisted therapy and create a roadmap of what it would look like. Legislation passed in the Assembly's Health Committee last week would fund a work group to study the benefits of the treatment. Governor Newsom vetoed a bill last year to decriminalize so-called magic mushrooms and products containing psilocybin. He said states needed to establish treatment guidelines first. The members of Congress have announced a bipartisan deal to expand the child tax credit and provide a series of tax breaks for businesses. Democratic Senator Ron Wyden says he hopes to pass the legislation by the beginning of tax filing season, which is January 29th. Police in Missouri say they think 6 people reported missing in August were lured into a cult led by a convicted child molester. They say the rapper turned online guru who operates the University of Cosmic Intelligence is currently in prison and has denied knowing the people who disappeared. They were last seen at a quality inn near St. Louis. Israel says it's winding down the bulk of its military operations in Gaza.
Israel's defense minister, the nationally televised news, saying that the extensive phase of fighting in the northern part of the Gaza Strip is now over. It will soon be over in the southern part of the Gaza Strip.
ABC's Matt Chapman says the defense minister is now calling for a diplomatic path forward. The prime minister of Qatar has criticized the Israeli defense minister's rejection of a ceasefire in its war with Hamas. He says Gaza isn't even there anymore and has urged for a two-state solution. Fighting in Gaza has been going on for more than 100 days.
Well, I want to thank everybody.
Former President Trump has won the Iowa caucuses. He thanks Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who came in second last night, and also Nikki Haley, who came in third. Trump says he thinks they both did very well.
I also want to congratulate Vivek because he did a hell of a job.
Vivek Ramaswamy dropped out of the race after falling short last night, came in fourth place, and then endorsed Trump. The results of the first in what will be a month-long effort by Trump to secure the Republican nomination for president for a third time. The Bear and Succession have secured a lot of Emmys. The 75th Emmy Awards gave each 6 awards. The Bear won Best Comedy Series for its first season. Succession won Best Drama Series in its last season. And again, both shows took home 6 Emmys last night. We'll check some problems, continuing problems on the 5 with the KFI County.
If you're looking to sell your house, now you can sell it the way virtually all of us sold our homes. And that is, you list it with a real estate broker, and then you paint, repair, you clean. You pay 6% for that, by the way, with a real estate broker. And you have prospective buyers walking through your house. You can't be there, and you have to live a spotless life because you never know when the buyer's going to come through. And then long escrows and contingencies and negotiations. With directbuyers.com, it is very, very different. They'll buy your home, like right now, give you a fair price and pay you in cash within 10 days or less. And no one even walks into your house. That's directbuyers.com. And they'll even get you a $15,000 cash back advance before closing to help with your move, and they'll never, ever, ever lowball you. Go to directbuyers.com, call 844-242-SELL, directbuyers.com.
Southland weather from KFI, partly to mostly cloudy. Highs in the 60s to about 70. Low clouds overnight with lows in the 40s and 50s. Tomorrow it's going to be mostly cloudy, highs in the 60s. Partly cloudy skies through the rest of the week. Then a chance of rain rolls in late Friday. Good chance we're going to see rain Saturday, Sunday, and into Monday with highs in the 50s and 60s. It's 44 in Anaheim, 50 Redondo Beach, 40 in Canyon Country, 47 in Pasadena. The KFI market report, the Dow is trading down 179
the fine freeway northbound at Lancaster Boulevard. Signal alert there. The 3 right lanes are blocked. Crash there involving a big rig, as mentioned. It looks like it's on its side, so that's not going anywhere anytime soon. The carpool and left lanes are open. Traffic stops from Glen Oaks Boulevard. Trying to get through Long Beach, still got some problems there. Actually, 2 problems. First of all, if you're headed northbound on the 710 past the 91, crash there, or actually a detached trailer. The 2 right lanes are blocked. It's slow from Del Amo Boulevard. And the other problem in Long Beach is the 710 southbound of the 91. Crash on the right shoulder there. It's slow from Imperial Highway. Real cool driving KFI in the sky. There's no better time in the new year to help protect your identity and finances. LifeLock detects potential threats to your identity that you may miss on your own. If you do become a victim, a U.S.-based LifeLock restoration specialist will work to fix it. LifeLock is the New Year's resolution that's easy to keep. Save 25% off your first year. Call 1-800-LifeLock or go to lifelock.com. Promo code PLAY to save 25%. That's lifelock.com. Promo code PLAY.
Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, sports, talk, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good. KFI AM 640. You are listening to The Bill Handle Show.
It is KFI AM 640. Bill Handle here on a Tuesday, January 16th. And big news, of course, well, I don't know how big, well, it's big, but certainly not surprising, is former President Donald Trump won the Iowa caucuses north of 50%. That's never been done, ever. And our good friend Vivek Ramaswamy has dropped out of the race. The big surprise that he said was going to happen yesterday didn't happen. One of the things that the Republicans, all of them, agree on is California. California is actually being attacked more than Joe Biden is in this election cycle among Republicans. California is the most hated state in the United States because it is a blue state. It wasn't always a blue state. It was actually at one point a Republican stronghold. Nixon came from California. President Reagan came from California. But since Reagan left office, the conservative attacks on our lovely state had just ramped up and ramped up. Why? Because we are liberal. We, for example, we have a very large Jewish community. Now that isn't part of it, but the Jews are liberal when it comes to politics. And a lot of people in show business are Jewish, and they give a ton of money to the Democratic Party. For example, and Neil will talk about this, across the country, people eat turducken. Turkey with a duck inside and a chicken inside of that. We have brisket here. Turkey that is stuffed with a brisket, that is stuffed with gefilte fish. I'd eat that. Actually sounds spectacular, doesn't it? Yeah, I love that you finish on the gefilte fish. For those people that haven't eaten gefilte fish, if you don't know what it is, most people find it completely disgusting. I actually like it. I do too. I enjoy it. But you have to eat it with horseradish because it's so bland. You have to eat it with crane, which is Yiddish for horseradish.
Crane.
The crane in Spain. Oh, they eat mainly on the crane. Yes. But kidding aside, California is a terrific state to back. Why? Because we are at the forefront of crazy stuff. We do tofu turkey. We are the state that meditates. I mean, we're pretty out there. Of all the states that are sort of left-wing, I would say we're at the head of that heap, top of the heap, which makes it very easy for conservative Republicans to back California. Nancy Pelosi has been, she's there, but she is no longer speaker. Nancy Pelosi is being mentioned as much or more than is the enemy. California is the enemy. We're not just a state. I mean, we're downright traitors to the Republican cause. I mean, even former President George H.W. Bush, 2002, and he is a very moderate guy. Former President Bush is not a firebrand at all. Do you remember Taliban fighter John Walker Lynn, the American fighter who was captured? He was captured or killed. There was an American that went over to ISIS. He said that he had to apologize for referring to John Walker Lynn, this is President Bush, that Lynn was some misguided Marin County hot tubber. And that's former President Bush who said that. Not some crazy ass Republican. And so, what are the reasons that Republicans actually dislike California because of that? But in reality, there are plenty of Californians that are multi-zillionaires that give to the Republican Party, and they're ignored because Republicans. How do Republicans attack Republicans who give a pile of money to the Republican Party? So that's swept under the rug. And it's the Democrats, right? It's the Spielbergs in show business. It's George Soros, who's one of the wealthiest Americans out there. And DeSantis, again, brought up Pelosi. We have a problem with Congress. They're almost detached from the people. They live under different rules. Why? Because they have stock. Because Nancy Pelosi is very wealthy because of her husband and owns a ton of stock. And therefore, how many Republicans are wealthy? I mean, tons of them. And that's what is being attacked, especially DeSantis attacking Haley. He says that Haley is more liberal than Gavin Newsom. And there's the boogeyman, Gavin Newsom. Why? Because he is governor of California, and therefore he is a boogeyman. Now, Ron DeSantis is attacking Haley and attacks California. Haley also attacks California, of course, but is attacking Trump and, of course, DeSantis. Have you noticed that DeSantis is not attacking Trump? Sort of leaving that alone. The big one is Haley, who is attacking Chris Christie, who just went over the top and attacking Trump, but he dropped out a while ago. And now we have Vivek Ramaswamy, who is now out as of last night. So you really have, a three-person race. Donald Trump, of course, head of the heat, and then second place. I mean, going into the black part of the primary, second place is pretty important. Obama came in very late and won it. And so we'll see what happens. Nikki Haley, Ron DeSantis won last night. And the issue is, did he win? He won by a couple of points, so he can declare win. But he threw all of his cards. He rolled the dice on Iowa and came out 2 points ahead. He went to every single precinct, 99 precincts in Iowa. So we'll see what happens. New Hampshire is next. And at this point, you've got Haley, who is ahead of DeSantis. All right, coming up. Do you remember that $1,000 a month program, the guaranteed income program? Andrew Yang did that when he ran for president, I think in 2016, and got laughed out of the race. Well, I got to tell you, it's just ended. There were a lot of families who received $1,000. What's happened since? Could be maybe surprising to a lot of people. Let's check in with Amy, live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
A ban on indoor and outdoor wood burning has been extended until at least midnight tonight for much of the Southland because of a forecast of high levels of air pollution. The residential wood burning ban is for the South Coast air basin, including non-desert areas of Los Angeles, Riverside, and San Bernardino counties, and all of Orange County. A A vacant Kmart in Riverside could become a large apartment complex. The city council approved it. Some neighbors say they're worried about increased traffic and whether the new tenant's children will put a strain on the school district. If approved, the 347-unit complex could start taking tenants by 2027. Elton John is an EGOT. He's now got an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony. He was awarded his Emmy for his Disney Plus special, his farewell concert at Dodger Stadium. He's the 19th performer to win all 4 awards, and at 76 is the oldest to complete the feat. We'll check some problems on the 10 with the AI in the sky next.
18 years ago, I weighed over 300 pounds, and for those of us that are that heavy, it's miserable, just miserable. Then I underwent bariatric surgery, and it literally changed my life. If you need to lose 50 pounds or more, let's suggest contacting the team at West Medical, because they change the lives of thousands of patients. West Medical works with most PPO insurance to help cover the cost of your surgery. Call 800-WEST-MED, and it's made very well, and will change your life if you undergo a surgery. Visit westmedical.com.
Hilarious. Oh my God.
800-WEST-MED. Visit westmedical.com. Your results will vary depending on the procedure.
I got it. Oh, man.
That lots of clouds
Yo,
and
go
overcast
fuck
on
yourself.
today, highs in
Bark.
the 60s to about 70. This report brought to you by Lowe's. We've got a crash in Ontario on the 10.
Somebody got to say something about that shit.
Right there at Haven.
They just throw this nice straight.
Traffic is just terrible all the way back to Cherry Avenue. In fact, all the roadways are just not in great shape today, unfortunately. One of those is in Sun Valley, 5 freeway northbound at Lankershire Boulevard. Crashed there in the 3 right lanes, and that has things slow back to Glen Oaks Boulevard. If you're trying to get through Pomona, still issues on the 10 eastbound before Gary Avenue. Crash there just clear. That's the good news. The big rig involved in that one is gone. Traffic stop goes back to Fairfax. Full driver, AFI in the sky. Shop the closeout event now at Lowe's. Get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, save an extra $100 when you spend $999 or more on all major appliances. Valid 1/4/24 to 1/24/24. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for details.
This report is sponsored by your Amazon Fresh store. Everything's better with avocado, and they're on sale now at your local Amazon Fresh grocery store. Get 4 large half avocados for $5. Now through January 16th. While supplies last. Amazon Fresh has wellness for every wallet. Find a store near you.
Why choose a Sleep Number Smart Bed? Because no 2 people sleep the same. Only the Sleep Number Smart Bed lets you each choose your individual firmness and comfort, your sleep number setting. The Climate 360 Smart Bed is so smart, it actively cools or warms up to 13 degrees on either side for your ideal sleep temperature. JD Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in store. And now save 40% on the Sleep Number Special Edition Smart Bed for a limited time. For JD Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Cunning Dental can take the pain and embarrassment of loose, missing, and rotten teeth go away in just one day. Cunning Dental is the pioneer of the teeth in one-day procedure and have been making smiles great
Damn,
since
what a catch.
1968. Walking with your loose, missing, and embarrassing teeth. Walk out with a beautiful smile that same day. Change your life, increase your confidence, and enjoy your favorite foods again with no more pain and discomfort. Call for a free exam, CT scan, and X-rays. A $1,500 value. If you're scared of the dentist, we offer sleep dentistry and can do all of your dental work while you sleep. Easy financing options are available, and we offer special discounts for veterans and active military, law enforcement, and more. Call now and receive $4,000 off your new teeth in one day. And we will beat any competitor's written offer. See the amazing transformations and read all of their 5-star reviews at cunningdental.com. 888-640-SMILE. 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 Restrictions apply.
Hey, KFI fam, Thorson Buick GMC in Pasadena has some incredible specials to start the year. Here's one of many. A 2023 GMC Sierra Denali 1500 crew cab 4-wheel drive is $599 plus tax per month. Call Ted at the dealership 626-795-8851. Thorson Buick GMC.
2024 season ticket memberships are now on sale. All memberships include exclusive access to opening day and postseason tickets. Join the passionate community of fans who share your excitement for Dodger baseball. Visit Dodgers.com/membership. Make this your best year yet with an outdoor remodel by System Pavers. By making the most of your own outdoors, you'll create a space your loved ones can enjoy for years to come. For more than 3 decades,
in the region. What is AI gonna do?
Listen to On Purpose with Jay Shetty on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
There is a long list of existing laws that they could enforce, and this situation would slow down to a trickle fairly quickly. We've got several hundred years of immigration law, and it always works. You just have to enforce it, right? John Cobell, God knows how terrorists are going to work. But, we'll find out soon enough. Live 1 to 4 p.m. on KFI and on demand anytime on the iHeartRadio app. Angeles, when will you save me, Los Angeles? When will you save me, Los Angeles? KFI PM 640. Bill Handle here. It is a Tuesday morning, January 16th. Last night, surprise! Former President Trump won the Iowa caucus over 50%, by the way. It is a lot of pundits said he wasn't going to get that high. DeSantis won over Nikki Haley by 2 points. And so DeSantis is going to declare when Haley is closing out where we'll see what happens in the next primaries. The next primaries. Also, I love Governor Ron DeSantis. The campaign cried foul. Why? Because as soon as the polls opened, all of the major networks declared former President Trump the winner, like almost immediately. And he said, that's horrible, that's foul. And I don't quite understand where his damage was. His argument, had they not declared that Trump had won at the beginning, would he have won? I guess that's the logical extension. Hey, so let me tell you about that LA Guaranteed Income program. And this was, we talked a lot about this when it started in 2022. It was Basic Income Guaranteed, the Los Angeles Economic Assistance Pilot, or Big Leap. God, I love those acronyms, don't you? The Big Leap program dispersed $34 million of city's funds to 3,200 residents, and there were some rules.
Yeah, that's scary.
The women lived at or below the federal poverty level, experienced hardship due to COVID, and what these people got were monthly cash deposits for 12 months, $1,000 a month. They could use the money any way they wanted. So here we are, north of a year later, and they're no longer receiving the money as of last year. So a bunch of organizations interviewed recipients. And I'm going to talk about a couple of them, and the reason I'm going to talk about them is they are not outliers. This is typical. And it's surprising for a lot of people that were against the program. There is this woman who, and I don't have her name, who worked at a El Pollo Loco for 30 years for obviously horrible wages. So within a week of the first payment, she enrolls in an online chemistry course, prerequisite to apply for nursing school. So she used the Big Leap money for her monthly bills, for portion of the rent, clothes and shoes for her son, now 7, and somewhat like an annual pass to Legoland, and a juicer, a high-quality juicer. So here we are, nearly a year after receiving her last payment, and how is she doing? Now she's doing great. She is finishing her courses, and she is on her way to nursing school. Anne says, had it not been for this program, she never, ever would have made it. By the way, you have to make, right for this, less than $11,000 a year income. There are people that make less money than $11,000. How do you live in Southern California? Obviously, there are all kinds of help, food stamps, subsidized housing with various programs. There's certainly aid from the government for aid-dependent children, whatever that program is, but still scraping by. And she could barely make it month to month, and she received this money. And what they're finding out is that unconditional cash is a way to provide greater stability to community members who are really vulnerable. proponents are saying the programs can change narratives and lies, which it does, around poverty, because it trusts low-income people to make decisions about their own finances. These are not programs that you apply for, that you have to have X number of hours, you have to apply to A program or B program. This is your money. Spend it any way you want. And of course, those who are critics are saying these people are going to spend it on booze, they're going to spend it on expenses that they don't need, they're going to spend it frivolously. Well, the reality is very little of that happens. Okay, so how do people become eligible? 50,000 applicants came in, and they were able to give 4,200 people money. 80% were female, 65% were single. And here's what they found. Not only were people able to pay their rent, buy food, shoes for their kids, but as they're studying what happened, people who are part of this program this is pretty uniformly now, positive impacts on health, belonging, self-worth, which has a great deal to do with your health and your ability to find a job and your ability to function in society. That's according to Stanford Basic Income Lab. Report from the St. Paul, Minnesota, the program for the Center for Guaranteed Income Research, the University of Pennsylvania, found that the people who were employed increased and continued to rise 6 months after the program ended. People felt more hopeful about the future. Still, 6 months after the money stopped. I mean, there is a lot to it. So if you remember Andrew Yang, who ran for president in 2016 and got bounced out of the primary, of course, and he wanted $1,000 for every American, and we all thought he was nuts. Not so much nuts. Now it has to be means tested. You know, I'm not going to apply for governmental help for $1,000 a month. Well, actually, I am. I'm going to lie about my income, but that's simply the way I roll. Neil shaking his head. So this I found this a little surprising, especially on the self-worth, and they're connecting self-worth as being better applicants and in interviews, simply being more apt to be hired, because when you have some confidence, when you feel good about yourself, it's a very different kind of approach. It's a very different interview. And so it's a win-win. And those detractors, well, they're still detracting on moral grounds. You can't give people free money, and look what it's going to cost. They're right. Look what it's going to cost. And what programs you take away from? Homelessness? As if that's going to happen? So just take another look at this and see what's going on. All right, we're back at the office coming up, and we don't behave very well, right? We're not used to behaving well at the office, as if I've ever behaved well. Guess what companies are doing, and you'll never guess. I guarantee that. Let's check in with Amy King live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Former President Trump has won the Iowa caucuses by a wide margin, 30 points over second-place finisher Ron DeSantis. Trump won 98 of the 99 counties last night. His big win prompted an announcement from Vivek Ramaswamy.
As of this moment, we are going to suspend this presidential campaign.
Ramaswamy earned about 8% of support among caucus goers. DeSantis and former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley each got about 20%. Ramaswamy has endorsed former President Trump, who earned more than 50% of the vote. News brought to you by American Vision Windows. The LAPD says a homeless man wanted for the fatal shooting of a dog has been arrested.
Investigators say they found David Sumlin just after midnight Monday in downtown LA. He was booked on $50,000 bail. Police say on January 2nd, Sumlin and the dog's owner got into an argument, and sometime during that exchange, Sumlin grabbed a pillow, put it on the dog, and pushed a gun into it, and then he said, "It's either you or the dog." Detectives say Sumlin then shot 2 rounds into the pillow, killing the 4-month-old puppy. It's not known how Sumlin got the firearm. Steve Gregory, KFI News.
California Senator Scott Wiener is trying to lower the requirement to charge for auto burglary. Prosecutors currently have to prove cars were locked when thieves broke in order to charge the crime. Pasadena Police Lieutenant Keith Gomez says the requirements often lead to prosecutors charging for petty theft, which carries lighter punishment than burglary.
There's really no consequence that would cause the offender to stop offending, and it's a slap on the wrist, and so they continue to break into cars.
Wienersville would make forcible entry enough to charge auto burglary. He attempted to get similar laws passed in 2018 and 19. A woman in Israel has been killed and nearly 20 others have been hurt in what police have called one of the worst terror attacks since the war against Hamas began. ABC's Patrick Regal says 2 Palestinians stole cars yesterday and deliberately rammed them into pedestrians.
We've seen a number of shootings in Jerusalem, and I think what this underlines is a growing fears of violence in the West Bank, as we see tensions there really just continue to boil over fury really from over the war in Gaza.
Regal says at least 4 people are in serious condition. The drivers, who are reportedly related, have been arrested. The divisional round matchups in the NFL playoffs have been set. The Bills earned their spot with a 31-17 win yesterday over the Steelers, and won the final wild card game 32-9 over the Philadelphia Eagles. We'll check the problems on 405 with the KFI in the sky next.
No matter what business you're in, I'll tell you, the business you're in is involved with technology. That's just part of the business. And let me suggest contacting folks at NextSuite. What NextSuite helps you do is what all business owners want: simply make more profit. You'll manage risk, get reliable forecasts, because you'll know up to the minute, that moment, how your business is doing. All helping you to improve margins, drive down expenses, increase revenue, make more money. Download the NextSuite checklist, and you'll see how NextSuite can help you. And this is absolutely free. Go to netsuite.com/KFI. NetSuite as an office suite. netsuite.com/KFI.
Southside weather from KFI, a lot of clouds, a little bit of sun this afternoon, highs in the 60s to about 70. Overnight lows in the 40s and 50s tonight. Tomorrow, a couple degrees cooler with mostly cloudy skies. Should be partly cloudy for Thursday and Friday. We have a chance of rain by late Friday after midnight, and then a half to an inch of rain is expected for the weekend, with highs in the 50s and 60s. A 46 in Yorba Linda, 47 in Seal Beach. There's a better crash in Sepulveda Pass on 405.
Going to be the 405 southbound, right before Mulholland Drive, crashed on the right shoulder. Motorcycle involved in this one, unfortunately. That traffic slowed back from Devonshire as a result, even though it's off the right shoulder. In Long Beach, 710 freeway, we're still looking at this with northbound 710 past the 91. It's a detached trailer there. The 2 right lanes are blocked. You're slow back from Del Amo Boulevard. And in Long Beach as well, 710 southbound past the 91. Crashes just clear there. It's still slow from Imperial Highway. Still full driver. KFI in the sky.
I feel incredible because I called 1-800-WEST Medical.
Prescription required online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate prescription supplies. See website for details and important safety information. Prescription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but it's 95% cheaper, and you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternative to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right, get generic to Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO. City of Los Angeles landlords that own rent-controlled properties. Starting February 1st, you'll be able to increase rent by 4% for your rent-controlled properties. An extra 1% for utility, up to 6%, can be added only if you pay the entire gas and electric bill. And don't forget to give your tenant an advance 30-day written notice for your rent increases of less than 10%. It is state law. Learn more about the rent increase at housing.lacity.org. That's housing.lacity.org.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You
Spicy Food Day and Big Gluten Day, plus Quinoa Day for those of you who like your food super.
And borderline enhancement.
Today is also Rid the World of Fat Diet Day. Just eat quinoa and big gluten. That's your daily calendar from AMI AM 640. AFI AM 640. Joe Handel here. It is a Tuesday morning, January 16th, and we're looking at some news. Last night, what a shocker. Donald Trump won the Iowa caucus by over 50%. And the race is who's going to come in second. DeSantis won by 2 points, so not a whole lot. And on the good side, Elton John officially joined the EGOT Club. He is now the recipient of an Emmy, a Grammy, the Oscar, and the Tony. 19 other EGOT winners are out there. And so, congratulations to Sir Elton John, who was not there to receive the prize. Now, let's talk about the pandemic for a moment. And as I told you over and over again, that the people that have studied the pandemic, business schools, sociologists, psychologists, haven't even started to figure out what the pandemic was. Now, at the start of the pandemic, we all worked from home. Here on KFI, we all broadcast from home, and certainly management and sales were all from home, and now we're all coming back. And here is what is going on. We're a little bit rusty with in-person conduct. We're talking too loud at our desks. People are on phones during meetings. Small talk is awkward. Yeah. Now, you know what? You know what employers are doing? Charm school. Charm school. Etiquette classes. By the way, if you think it's one or two, 60%, according to a July survey by resumebuilder.com, Kate Zabriskie says it's a shifting environment. And workplace etiquette and soft skill firms are critical. Now, and Neil, I want you to weigh in on this because you were there. Prior to the pandemic, I was rude, obnoxious, loud, vicious in some circumstances. Employees coming in, it was universal. When I was introduced to a new employee, I'd say you're not gonna last a week. Went home during the pandemic, came back. Now, I happen to be engaged. I happen now to be courteous. I happen now to pay attention to coworkers. There's a small break in reality there. The first half was tracking pretty solid. There's still people that you get in the elevator with that you've known for decades that you don't recognize. That's still there. You're still rude. Okay, so maybe hold on a second. You know what? I almost corrected you about everyone broadcasting from home. I swear to you, I almost stepped in. I was letting you roll with your monologue there because Gary and Shannon never went home. And I just got a text from Gary Hoffman that said, we never went home. No, Gary and Shannon always broadcast from the station. They're the only ones with actually decent etiquette. However, on you, sir, no, nothing has changed. Absolutely. I stand corrected with Gary and Shannon. But here's what bugs me about these types of things. Civility, whether it's Madonna or people, I've had friends that would go to Europe and they stay in London for 3 months or something, and they come back with an accent, and they're like, oh, but, I was there for 3 months. And I'm like, yeah, but you've been living in the United States your entire life. It should wear off pretty quickly. Civility is not something you lose in 3 years because you're only in the office once or twice a week. But here's what you do lose, and this is what the corporations are saying. Business etiquette is on the wane, or it really was coming back from the pandemic. Professionalism in the office and on I wore my shirt.
That's fucking Chipotle. Thread, I swear to God, it's like weird.
Because I like the air. I thought those were just furry pants. Well said. Remembering names. Okay, I have a hard time with that. How to conduct yourself during a business lunch. I've always had a problem. I talk with my mouth full. Food sprays out of my mouth as I'm talking. I get that. I've never ever seen a microphone duck before. You spit a lot, sir, is what I'm saying. You know that Irvine Valley College with Cal State Fullerton and a joint program actually has a fine dining class. If you are applying, for example, with a managerial position or professional position, a law firm, an accounting firm, how to eat appropriately. One of the reasons I never got a job, I had to go out on my own as I graduated law school and passed the bar. But it's a thing, and I didn't know this is a thing. What did I say to you when we first came across that? When last week? Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Your insecurity is so impactful to the people around you. I'm not sure you even know what you say half the time. You are an HR nightmare. Hard to be around. And I don't think any sort of
I'm
charm
Chica,
school
baby.
would be able to crack you. But it's the golden rule, man. If you don't want to go down your rule, makes the rules. No, not the Goldman Sachs rule. The golden rule is simply just treat people the way you want to be treated in the workplace, out of the workplace. I don't know how people could unlearn being, like human for 3 years. Right. So if we listen to Neil, treat people the way you want to be treated. That's it. If you listen to Bill, see how it worked out for you. Okay, let's come back and talk about it. And let me tell you, this one you're going to shake your head at. I will jump into that topic when we come back. Anything live in the KFI 24-hour news.
Former President Trump has easily won the Iowa caucuses in the first major test of the Republican primary race. Second place finisher Ron DeSantis finished 30 points back, followed by former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley. Vivek Ramaswamy dropped out of the race last night after finishing fourth, and just now finishing in sixth place. Former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson has announced that he is ending his bid to become president. Work to widen an eroded stretch of beach in San Clemente has been delayed for 2 months. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers has decided to wait until it can get better quality sand. After beachgoers noticed and complained that the white sand near the pier was being replaced with black rock. Pope Francis says some people have jumped to ugly conclusions over his recent decision to allow blessings for same-sex couples. Francis says the blessings do not equal approval of gay sex and aren't anything at all like the sacrament of marriage. We'll check some problems on the 101 with the KFI in the sky next.
For over 10 years, I have owned and recommended the White Source Full House Water Filtration System, which delivers highly filtered, obviously safe, delicious water, and that's an important word, from every tap in your house. You never run out. Now, tap water is, it takes chlorine. It contains chlorine, contaminants. The White Source system filters all of that out, and there is absolutely no maintenance.
Right, you know, go like a dog.
Water 99.
Listen, I'm fucked.
800 water 99.
I am fucked.
Whitesourcewater.com. Whitesource.
Okay, so what's the goal? Just follow people. Dude, you got another person to say something. So it's tight. And you got Asia Fleetwood here.
This report brought to you by Mattress Firm. You've got trouble in Terminal.
Alright, so you got Asia Fleetwood saying, I like how it's upside down. Alright, you're 69. With Sonic. Alright, you got it. On the tip of your tongue. Calm down, kid. Alright, here we go. What do we got? What do we find in here? What do we find in? What is this? What is this? That's so fucking. Okay.
A national nonprofit offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents,
Hey, dancing day, how you doing, baby?
visit bcakidszone.org.
In a small Tennessee town, a killer was caught by unlikely investigators. High school student Center Alex Campbell. Though the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation supports their theory, no charges have been filed. Murder 101 follows the student. They endeavor to complete the assignment.
Once you start getting a few tips or a few leads or good implications, then the cold case isn't so cold anymore.
Listen to Murder 101 on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcast.
Cutting dental can make the pain and embarrassment of loose, missing, and rotten teeth all go away in just one day. They've been making smiles great since 1968. Change your life, increase confidence, and enjoy your favorite foods again with no more pain and discomfort. Call 888-640-SMILE and receive $4,000 off new teeth in one day. Plus, we'll beat any competitor's written offer. Read all of their 5-star reviews at cunningdental.com. 888-640-SMILE. Restrictions apply. If you're looking to sell your home, call Sellers Advantage. They'll make you a cash offer with no need for repairs. With Sellers Advantage, there are no agents. They can close in days. They buy with cash. They may even offer a $10,000 advance to help you move. Check out the reviews online. Phone for no obligation offer. 888-321-AS-IS. 888-321-AS-IS. 888-321-2747. SellersAdvantage.com.
Don't worry, don't happy with Sellers Advantage.
DRA number 0961658. Oh, I gotta pay how much? Send to your dealership for car repair leaning? No, half the car service at AMCO don't even need a new transmission. At AMCO, we've been shipping gears for over 50 years, delivering top-notch service and unbeatable expertise. Our expert technicians will give you an honest assessment, and we won't fix what's not broken. So before you say yes to costly repairs elsewhere, get a second opinion at AMCO. That's AA, MCO, transition, and a whole lot more.
Are you a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iHeartMedia can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else. And we can give you access to those potential customers more cost effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We'd love to show you how iHeartMedia can work for you. Get started today at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Many economists believe 2024 will reduce the recession from mild to severe, and that means job losses. But if you have good credit and own a home,
Okay.
the loan exchange can help
Okay,
you
then.
prepare for whatever might happen. The loan exchange now offers a home equity line of credit with the security of a home mortgage. Your rate can be
Fuck.
higher than it is.
No fucking ROTHSCHILD. That feels. Oh, fuck.
Can only go
No,
down
fuck.
from day one, never up.
That feels for everything I agree with us.
Even if it's just a
Neither here nor there, nor nowhere.
cash at the ready.
Neither here nor there, nor here. Bill fucking Murray, Sally, you reached 8-year-old fucking ROTHSCHILD, was Mashiach, and Senator, multiple expressions. You ready for me, Mashiach, and Senator, multiple expressions, like the way you righteousness.
We'll make loans to folks who are unemployed, no matter how good their
Licensed by the California Department of Financial Protection and Innovation under the California Finance Law, NMLS 1637539.
Again, call 855-752-9944 or visit theloanexchange.com today.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you right now, like Media, a commercial-free station featuring 3,000 tracks from iconic artists. Just search Media and listen now on your free iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
KMI AM 640.
An iHeart radio station.
Hi, AM 640. Bill Handel here on a Taco Tuesday, January 16th. Some of the stories we're looking at, we'll get to the story, of course. It's the story, right? Donald Trump won the Iowa primaries last night, or the Iowa caucus, like over 50%. I guess that's, slight surprise. Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis were pretty close. DeSantis won by 2 points.
Use your bag.
In Iowa. Let's see what happens in the other primary. And there was, in a Carson cemetery, there was a burglary. This is 2 times out. It's a burglary on the other side, too, where he stole these bronze plaques for recycling.
family members to have had these plaques, and their loved ones were here for decades and decades. Now have to deal with this. It's horrific. Okay, now I'm going to give you some good news, and you're not going to believe it. If you're in your 50s, your average net worth exceeds $1 million for the first time. You go, wait a minute. I'm not worth $1 million. Well, this is the average. So there are a couple of people like Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, who believe the average just up a little bit, don't they? Warren Buffett, because they're worth in the hundreds of billions of dollars. But the reality is we have gotten richer. The average household now is $500,000 for Americans in their late 30s. For late 40s, it's $750,000. For 50s, it's seven figures, which is pretty impressive. Except if it doesn't happen to you. So why? Well, let's start out with we're with our 20s. We're starting out. We're working our first job, low pay. We're taking out a student debt. Liz Gillette, a certified financial planner, says you're off on your own for the first time. Got liabilities coming in, your first car, your student loans, and you're building up retirement, hopefully. You start in your 20s, you're going to do just fine. Start later, it's a problem. For 20-somethings, the biggest factor is debt, student debt. So now let's go to 30-somethings. We're emerging from college debt. Buying the first house, starting a family, our income is rising, but so is so are our expenses. Think diapers. Okay? And this is when people in their 30s are looking at the miracle of compounding interest.
Walmart Plus can help save yours this year by saving you time and money. Walmart Plus is the membership with benefits like gas discounts, video streaming, plus so much more. Is your resolution to simplify your life? With free delivery, Walmart Plus makes ordering what you need online a no-brainer. Join now. New members get $50 in Walmart cash to get what they need to help save their resolution. Terms apply. See walmart.com/plus for details.
Did you know that the bold, smooth taste of Dunkin' cold coffee can be brewed in your Keurig coffee maker and enjoyed at home? You heard that right. Dunkin's cold K-Cup pods were crafted to be brewed hot and enjoyed cold. Each Dunkin' cold K-Cup pod is packed with the smooth, bold Dunkin' flavor you crave. Pick up a pack of Dunkin's cold K-Cup pods and enjoy a Dunkin' cold coffee at home whenever you crave it. Just brew over ice and sip in seconds, because the home with Dunkin' is where you want to be. I'm Jenna Fisher. And I'm Angela Kinsey. We were on The Office together, and we're best friends. And now we're doing the Ultimate Office Rewatch podcast just for you. Each week, we will break down an episode of The Office and give exclusive behind-the-scenes stories that only two people who were there can tell you. We're the Office ladies. Welcome, welcome. It's Stress Relief, Part 2. Part 2. Oh, is that? We're going to be very refined today. Part dos. Oh, the many more Indonesian. Part dua. We are a classy show. This is Season 5, Episode 15, written by Paul Lieberstein, directed by Jeffrey Blitz. Let me give you a summary. Last week, if you remember, Dwight took matters into his own hands when his co-workers failed to pay attention to his fire safety seminar. He did a big fire drill. He trapped us in a burning building. He did. Stanley had a heart attack. Dwight was in hot water with corporate. We have that. Right. This week, Michael learned that he was the source of Stanley's stress, not Dwight, not the fire drill. And so he thinks the best thing to do is to throw a roast. Like an old school roast, right? Himself, right? Yes. Yeah. Where we all roast him until laughing, drinking, like Dean Martin. Yeah. This is Friars Club. This is going to be his comic relief moment. Meanwhile, Jim is still embroiled in these marital issues that Pam's parents are having. Pam's dad has been staying with Jim and Pam, and Pam, at the end of the last episode,
Can you see me peeing? Oh, I can see it.
Don't spend money like a broken. 2, save for retirement.
fireman as strong as he can. And three is supposed to be like sailor. Yeah, it doesn't sound as good. I just thinking hooker. It's like, how about hookers who sail? Okay. And number three, and that's live under your knee. I mean, Neil does that. I live under my knee. And you live under your knee. Right? Kono has no knee to live under. And Amy has never asked you. Do you spend money like a drunken hooker who sails?
Maybe a 50.
All right. Just wondering. All right. All right. Here we go. What happens with rent controlled apartments and you are a landlord? How do you get your tenant
I
out?
think I should have version
Yeah, I got a call.
I should have version every time I'm
KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
More informative, more engaging, more stimulating. KFI.
And the KOST HD2
Los Angeles, Orange County.
live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Temperatures rising in and around the Red Sea. I'm Amy King, live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom. U.S. Navy SEALs have seized Iranian-made missile parts and other weaponry from a ship in the Red Sea that was on its way to Yemen's Houthi rebels. U.S. military says 2 Navy SEALs disappeared during the raid last week. Central Command says the U.S. Navy ultimately sunk the ship after deeming it was
Will you talk to my dad? Pam, find out what's going on. That's the worst. Like, Pam, will you go talk to my parents? Yeah, I can't do it. You go do it. I cannot imagine asking Lee to go talk to my parents about their marriage. Oh my lord! Could you imagine? No, it's so weird. I know. Incidentally, my dad's name is Jim. Does the world know that? Because someone out there right now being like, what? And my brother-in-law's name is Dwight. Yes, do you guys know this? And my niece's name is Cece. And her best friend is named Angela. What's going on? I think we mentioned this fact in an earlier podcast, but it is interesting. All right. Also, last week, I want to remind everyone that this episode played after the Super Bowl. It was a super big deal. And the network wanted big name stars, and our show was like, hey, no, we don't do that. Not at this moment. And so we had this whole little movie playing out. So that's going on too. Yeah, Jim and Pam and Andy are watching this pirated movie that stars Jack Black, Jessica Alba, and Cloris Leachman. What happening? I think we caught you up. Yeah, you're caught up. Fast fact number 1, Jeff Blitz won an Emmy for directing this episode. Yeah, and he deserves it. He does. This was complicated. So Jeff Blitz has been on our show before. We love him. I mean, I literally love Jeff Blitz. I know. I love him as a human being. I love him as a director. I would also like you to know that our editors, Dean Holland and Dave Rogers, were also nominated for an Emmy for this episode. They deserve it. Dean edited the first half of the episode with the whole fire drill, and Dave edited the second with the roast, which is what we will be talking about today. Fast fact number 2, we had a fan question about the roast. Okay, Jessica K and Claire R asked, who wrote the jokes for Michael's roast? Did the cast help? Was it the writers? Was any of it improvised? Short answer is the roast was totally scripted. Yeah. We, as actors, did not participate in writing these jokes about one another. These were all written. All written. And I found out who pitched this part of the story. The idea of the roast. Who? It is none other than the man behind Princess Unicorn, Halstead Sullivan. Oh, really? Halstead told me that they had the CPR storyline for the first half of the episode, and they needed something for the second half. So he told the writer's room that when he was growing up in Atlanta, his father was president of a medical school, and every year, the medical students would put on a show, and it was like kind of like a Follies show, and they would do skits where they imitated their professors. He said the audience loved it. The professors, not so much. Well, you know, I think everyone doesn't like me because I'm this jerk. They think I'm a jerk boss, right? Yeah. So here's your chance, guys. Have at it. You know, roast me, say whatever you want. I love that he's like, make fun of, you know, how great I look in shoulder pads. Or also, traditionally, roasting kind of started with the Friars Club, I believe. And it was a great honor to be the person being roasted. Oh, yeah. It meant something. It was a position of status. And so I think that's another thing that is playing off Michael right now, which is that he's going to be an honoree. Yeah. This is a big deal. You guys are so lucky you get to roast me. Speaking of roasts, you know, Comedy Central has kind of taken over where the Friars Club left off, and they do these roasts of people every year. The Bruce Willis roast is real good, but in particular, Ed Norton roasts Bruce Willis. I was like rolling tears streaming down my face. It is such a good roast. When we were prepping this episode, it came to my mind. I went back and I watched it twice. I wish I could play it. It's way too long. Oh, I want to see it. I want to see it. Check it out. The first time I saw Amy Schumer was on a Comedy Central roast, and she was so funny. And there were a few dudes that were like kind of throwing her shade, and she just decimated them. Wow. All right, moving along. Fast fact number 3, Cloris Leachman. Cloris freaking Leachman. We told you there's this mini movie, and Cloris Leachman is one of the stars. She kills it in this mini movie. Legend. I mean, incredible. I needed to do a little breakdown of Cloris Leachman. Here it is. Cloris Leachman was born in Des Moines, Iowa. Midwesterner. Did not know that. As a child, she performed at the Des Moines Little Theater. Then she won a special scholarship to study broadcast drama at Northwestern. She stayed there for a while, but then she returned to Des Moines to finish high school. Then she returned to Northwestern with a theater scholarship this time. But she dropped out again to enter a beauty contest. This beauty contest? She eventually made her way to the 1946 Miss America pageant. What? She was in the Miss America pageant? Iowa? I guess for Iowa? Wow. I'm not sure. Eventually, she moved to New York. She studied at the Actors Studio. That's a big deal, acting school, guys. Then she made her Broadway debut in 1948 in a production called Sundown Beach. She became a household name when she was cast as Phyllis Lindstrom on The Mary Tyler Moore Show. And then she had her own spin-off show, Phyllis. She won a Best Supporting Oscar for Peter Bogdanovich's The Last Picture Show, Angela, which was written by Larry McMurtry, who is from my hometown of Archer City, Texas, and they filmed it in Archer City. And it was written by, you know, Larry never officially coined it, but folks in Archer City. So they'd be like, were you so-and-so? Did you sleep with that person? What's happening? Oh, so people were like trying to figure out who everybody was. Yeah. Which person is Sybil Shepherd? Which person is Cloris Leachman? Yeah, exactly. And Larry said it was inspired by, you know. I don't know. I feel like there's some woman named Doris who knows. She's like, it was me. Jenna, I actually read The Last Picture Show a few years after I had left Archer City and I was in college. I was like, you know what? This is a book about my hometown. I want to read it. It's so great. It's a great read. It's a great book and a great movie is what you're saying. Yeah. So I'm saying don't skip the book on this one, guys. Over the course of her career, she won a total of 8 Emmys for both drama and comedy, by the way. She won a Daytime Emmy. She won a Golden Globe Award. And in 2008, at the age of 82, she was a contestant on season 7 of Dancing with the Stars. She was the oldest contestant to ever dance on Dancing with the Stars. And she was inducted into the Television Academy Hall of Fame in 2011. I mean, the legacy of this woman. Sadly, she passed away in 2021 at the age of 94. And she was on our show. I know. This legend, amazing woman. Jenna, did you know I got to spend a little bit of time with Cloris? Yes. Now, not during this episode. Not during this episode. Because none of us met these guys during this episode. No, we didn't film when they were there, which was a bummer. But I ended up co-presenting an award at the 2012 Genesis Awards with Cloris. We were co-presenters. Oh my gosh. We had to hang out backstage. I met her daughter, Dinah, who is lovely. They were the cutest mother-daughter duo. And then Cloris and I went out on stage together. We presented this award. And she truly was such a hoot. She, I think, was at the age in her life and in her career where she gave, as the kids say, 0 Fs. And then I would run into her and her daughter at different events. And we would say hi because we had formed this little connection. Yeah. But anyway, she was just so fun and so full of life. And I'm so glad I just got to just interact with her those few times. Yeah, I love that story, Ange. Why don't we take a break and we'll come back and break down this episode? Okay, great. For 175 years, Gorton's has been committed to spreading the goodness of the sea by making quality seafood accessible to everyone while responsibly sustaining its future. Over 99% of Gorton's seafood is certified as responsibly sourced. And Gorton's reached out to us and said, do you want us to send you some of our fish sticks, some of our products, so you can become familiar with it before you speak about it on the podcast? And I was like, Gorton's, I've got you in my freezer right now. Yeah, you do. You do. Your kids love the fish sticks. Yes, it's our fave. Guess what I got? I got the Southern shrimp. It is so good. Yeah. You know, when you're looking in the freezer aisle, the Gorton's are in the yellow package. They've got the iconic fisherman on the cover. This brand has been around since I was a kid. Same. Gorton's is actually a brand that's been around for 175 years. Oh my gosh, that's so rare. Well, we love Gorton's, and it can help you make your mealtime easy. Visit Gortons.com to learn more, find a store, and get a recipe inspiration. Whether your resolution is to save money, eat better, or stress less, HelloFresh is here to help you do all three. Yes, you guys, I love HelloFresh. Jen and I both love it. You know why we love it. And guess what I made the other night? What? It was so delicious. I made their pub-style shepherd's pie. I've made it. Yes, it's so good. White cheddar and the prime mashed potatoes. I know it very well. It's a family favorite. Well, you know, Josh normally makes dinner, so this was my turn, and I made this, and he loved it, and I was so happy. I was like, I made a shepherd's pie. I'd never made one before. It's so good. Everyone, you can say hello to your most delicious year yet with fresh ingredients, chef-crafted recipes, all at a price you'll like, delivered right to your door. Go to HelloFresh.com/OfficeLadiesFree and use code OfficeLadiesFree for free breakfast for life. One breakfast item per box while subscription is active. That's free breakfast for life at HelloFresh.com/OfficeLadiesFree with code OfficeLadiesFree. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. You know, around New Year's, we all reflect, and people really start making lists of what they can do to be their best self for the next year. Yes, I think, you know, the new year definitely makes you think New Year's resolution. What do I want to change? New year, new me, that kind of thing. Yes, but perhaps this year, we could be reflecting on what we're already doing right. Yeah. And therapy can help you figure out your strengths so that you can ditch this idea that you need some extreme change or this extreme New Year's resolution and just, you know, you can make changes that really stick because they're based on your strengths. I like that. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Celebrate the progress you've already made. Visit BetterHelp.com/OfficeLadies today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/OfficeLadies. We start this episode with Pam being kind of upset. She's just gotten off the phone with her mom, and she's going to go find Jim and say, hey, what did you say to my dad? Yeah, her idea of having Jim talk to her dad did not go well. Apparently her dad is now looking for an apartment, and the divorce is on. It's happening. Pam gets really worried. She has this talking head where she says, what could Jim have said to make my dad want to leave my mom? And at what point in their marriage is Jim going to say this to her? She's spiraling. I think she's spiraling. Yeah, I mean, that's a big leap. That's a big jump. But she's upset and she's scared, right? We had a fan question from Sally K. Was the divorce of Jim's parents a setup for the Michael-Helene relationship in season 6? Helene is Pam's mom, everyone. No. This was crafted as a small representation of how our show had dramatic moments in addition to comedic ones. But because this aired after the Super Bowl, we wanted to stay away from existing storylines, so the writers had to create kind of like a brand new drama, but one that wouldn't go on to affect our regular characters too directly.
Right. We didn't want anything in this episode to actually affect the character arcs and relationships that were set in place.
Yes. So that was kind of why this storyline was crafted. And I remember John and I really fighting for the drama of this, like really saying, no, we want to play this real. Pam is really upset. This isn't funny upset. Like, I remember when I was shooting a 3-camera show, I was supposed to get mad at one of the other characters, and I was supposed to call him a jerk. I was supposed to say, you're a jerk. And the director came over to me and he said, I'm so sorry. This is 3-camera. You need to do funny mad, not actual mad.
Yeah.
You're doing single camera mad.
Yeah. Funny mad, funny sad.
He said, maybe go up at the end. You're a jerk.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay.
Or stomp your foot.
Yeah, something.
Drop
so that-
something on your toe and then go, ow, you're a jerk. Ow.
Oh, see, this is why you were good at the 3-camera, Angela. I couldn't get it. So anyway, John and I were like, we're going to do real upset. And it's going to be okay because all the rest of the episode is going to have the comedy.
You know, the first 3-camera I did after The Office, I played it really real and really quiet. It was a show called Hot in Cleveland. I was really excited to do it. Amazing actresses on that show. Craig Ferguson was a guest star. He was in there. And the director came over to me and was like, could you talk faster, maybe louder? And could you lower your voice or something? I don't know. Can we get her like some glasses?
Anything to make you like
A character or something.
comedic.
Yeah. And Craig Ferguson would start cracking up when the director walked away and he was like, maybe get her a top hat, a patch, maybe a parrot for her shoulder. And Wendy Malick was also in the scene and she came over and said to me, and she called me kid, which I loved. She goes, kid, you got to sell it to the back row. This is multicam. I said, gotcha, got it, okay.
Yeah,
They did give me glasses though.
they did. Were they funny?
Funny! Betty White did tell me I was funny though. That was my takeaway.
Do you have any more stories about legends? You've got Cloris Leachman, you've got Betty White. We met Carol Burnett once.
Well, I didn't speak though. Remember, I was too nervous.
I didn't speak either, but we stood next to her.
But Kate Flannery talked to her and we just stood there and smiled.
And then her and Kate got like a whole friendship going. We were so we just need to go up to Carol Burnett laughing next time.
Oh no.
I'm gonna try that one again.
Oh.
I'm gonna get that one out in the future.
You're gonna bust it out.
I am.
All right, where are we? Okay, Jim and Pam are playing real moments. Michael and Dwight are sharing a bottle of mini booze.
Very tiny bottle.
Jenna, this is not the first time the tiny bottle of booze has been in an episode.
When was the first time?
All right, in the deleted scenes of the duel, Michael is building up the courage to tell Andy, and they're walking out to the car together, and Michael hands him a mini bottle of booze out of his pocket in the elevator and goes, drink this. And then Andy's like, I don't know, I really like this. Okay, fine. And he like drinks it and he's like, ugh. And he's like, Angela's sleeping with Dwight. So I think they have this little mini bottle of booze, and you don't start seeing them in deleted scenes till after they go to Canada. And I wonder if Michael took the mini bar stash.
He 100% did.
Right?
Of course.
That's what I wrote in my head anyway.
Or from the airplane.
Yes.
First class.
Yes.
In this scene, as they're sharing this mini bottle of booze, we are reminded that Dwight needs to get the signature of everyone in the office as an acknowledgement that they have accepted his apology for dismembering the CPR dummy last week.
I mean, how many apology notes is he going to have people sign?
I don't know, but he has to get everyone's signature. He's having a hard time.
That's the only thing that's stressing him out.
Well, this is when Michael gets his big idea. They should roast him. This is great. He's going to bust into the bullpen. He's going to announce,
We're doing a roast. I want you to really go at me. Don't hold back. Yeah, you can comment on how fit I am or the fact that I'm a womanizer. He doesn't want to write the material for them, but he wants it to be good. Everyone is pretty excited. I mean, Kevin is like a giggly. He's so excited. I liked Oscar's talking head. Say it. He was like, listen, I'm a good person, but I am going to try to make Michael cry. We had a fan catch from Samantha S. and Michelle S. 2 people noticed this catch. Okay. If you're following along, starting with part 2 at 1 minute 15 seconds, Kelly is standing in front of the shelves and her notebook is closed. But in the very next shot, it is open and upside down. Oh, well, we missed that one. Clearly, she's not really taking an inventory of anything. I have a question for you. What is it? Who is planning this roast? There's no party planning committee meeting. But I want you to know, in deleted scenes, I found this gem. Michael is having a meeting with Daryl in the warehouse. Oh, yeah. So I'm like, wait, is Daryl in charge of this party because it's in the warehouse? So Michael is telling Daryl everything he needs. He says, I would like a stage. And Daryl points to a few wood pallets. Okay. And he's like, well, okay. And he goes, also, I need a big comfy chair or maybe a throne. That made me spit out my coffee. Then he tells Daryl that he would like all the other roasters to be up on the stage too. Like, you know, the Comedy Central roast where they have the dais of other roasters up there. Yep. And Daryl's like looking at these tiny wood pallets like, okay. Then Daryl's like, who's going to be in the audience? And Michael's like, we're going to charge $10 a head. Oh my God. For the audience. Who's coming to this? Then Michael's like, oh, also we need alcohol. Okay, you need lots of alcohol. And I'm going to need something to spit in for my spit takes. Oh, he's planning out that this is going to be so funny. He's going to need to spit out his drink. And Daryl's like, you're not spitting in the warehouse. Then Dwight rushes in and he's got this 8x10 photo of Michael. And Michael's like, no. I want this photo. You just got to cover like the whole back wall. Okay? Yeah. And then he says, I also want a drum and cymbal so I can do the ba-dum bumps. This is amazing because all of these things are going to appear in the warehouse. Yes. So I'm thinking Daryl and Dwight planned this. They were the PPC for this event. I don't want to give too much of a spoiler, but next week we're going to find out what happened to the PPC and why there is no one in charge of party planning right now. Oh, yeah. So this is like foreshadowing. A little bit. Well, I guess they set everything up and Dwight has a great idea. It's actually a great idea. It's brilliant. He tells everyone as they're entering that they have to sign in for the roast. But what they're really signing is his apology acknowledgement sheet. Yes, but who catches it? Phyllis. So good. She's so good. She is just busting his butt through this whole episode. She will not sign. She's not going to sign. She's the holdout. Yeah. Everyone takes their seats. Michael sits on his throne. And now the roast is going to begin. Yeah. Should we take a break? I think we take a break and we come back with the roasting. Let's talk a little bit about hydration in the new year, particularly about Liquid IV. Angela, you turned me on to this, and I'm going to have to give you props. Oh, thanks. It's pretty great. You told me that you use this when you travel to stay better hydrated, and I started doing the same thing. You know, whenever we go on a road trip, it's like I don't want to drink too much water because then I'll have to pee, and then I find myself so dehydrated, so I use this. Well, I like it for hikes. Here's what it is. You get a little packet, and you put it in your water, and then you are going to get 3 times the electrolytes of a leading sports drink plus 8 vitamins and nutrients. It's non-GMO and free from gluten, dairy, and soy. It is perfect for daily use before a workout or when you feel run down or after a long night out, hint, or even on really long flights. Rehydrate yourself for the new year. Grab your Liquid IV Hydration Multiplier sugar-free in bulk nationwide at Costco, or get 20% off your first order when you go to liquidiv.com and use code OfficeLadies at checkout. That's 20% off your first order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code OfficeLadies at liquidiv.com. Okay, folks, the roast is on. Michael welcomes all these jerks. Yeah. Who's first up? Who can't wait to get up there and roast Michael Scott? He can barely finish his sentence, and she's grabbing the microphone. It's Angela Martin. That's right. Jenna, I noticed something in rewatching this multiple times, like we do each week. Is Angela Martin ripping off Jeff Foxworthy bits? Yes, you know Angela Martin is a Jeff Foxworthy fan. Listen to Jeff and then listen to Angela.
If you've ever cut your grass and found a car, you might be a redneck.
And now Angela. If you ever put sunblock on a window, you might be Michael Scott. If you ever called the fire department because your head was stuck in your chair, you might be
Michael Scott.
Yes! She clearly is doing Jeff's bit. Yes, 100%. When I rewatched that, I was like, oh my gosh, that had to be the writer's inspiration for Angela's comedic style. I was very impressed with how prepared Angela was. Prepared in her mic work. Like she took the mic off, waved it to the crowd for everyone to say Michael Scott. She was into it. Next up is Kelly, and she does a list of who and what she would rather kiss than Michael Scott. All right, I gotta jump in and just tell you guys there is so much extra stuff in the deleted scenes for the roast. We also find out Kelly has a second bit where she says she knows that Michael dyes his hair. Oh, yeah. That one day it was raining and his hair dye dripped onto her arm and she color matched it, and Michael uses Clairol Natural Instincts Midnight Black. She does this whole other bit. And then I think Meredith is the most depressing. She says, Michael, you're the reason I drink. You're the reason I live to forget. Yeah. Oof. Oscar roasts Michael in Spanish, and he speaks very quickly. He has a lot to say. A lot to say. Very passionate. There's so much more Oscar in the deleted scenes. First of all, he does multiple jokes in English before he gets to his Spanish roast. And I think we need to hear him.
The only man in the state of Pennsylvania who is less likely to get legally married than me is Michael Scott. Michael Scott is so dumb. He thinks balancing a checkbook is putting a checkbook on his nose and shouting, "Look at me! Look at me!" Michael is so bad with money, he invested in Enron. Last week. Michael is the biggest idiot I know. And finally, sometimes I lay awake at night, I'm sure all of you do too, and wonder, what the hell did I do to deserve a boss like this?
I mean, oh my gosh. He just calls him an idiot. Oh my gosh. Michael is kind of realizing that maybe this wasn't as fun as he thought it would be, but things are in motion now. Yeah, and everyone can't wait to get up on stage. Toby tries to have a turn, but Michael shoots him down. Yeah, he says only friends only. And then there is a deleted scene, Jenna, where Oscar brings a cell phone up on stage because Jan, who isn't there, has decided to call in so she can roast Michael. Amazing. All right, we got to hear it. Well, Michael, you ruined my life, okay? Everything you touch turns to crap. Okay, you have no sense of how to please any woman. I can't believe that once you wrote a phone message on my diploma, and you used my daughter's christening gown as a bib when you make ribs. I mean, you're just completely an ass, Michael. You're an ass. Okay, I have to say, clearly the writers had a lot of fun writing this roast, because in addition to all these deleted scenes, remember last week when I said our candy bag for this episode was 207 pages? Are all jokes? Are they all roasting jokes? They are almost all alternate roast jokes. Well, I do pages and pages and pages. Oh my gosh, I do remember, Jenna, that people got it multiple times. Oh yeah, they just kept handing us stuff to go say. In the candy bag, they had all these alts for Jan when she called in. So in addition to this deleted one, this one really, please share, stuck out to me. She says, it only took one night of misguided drunken passion with Michael to ruin my entire life. I would have been better off if he'd just given me syphilis. Oh my gosh. Well, now Jim is going to get up and he's going to, I guess, list all of the sayings that Michael has butchered. Spider face. Oh my gosh. Dwight is feeling bad for Michael, so he hops up on stage to defend him, right? Yeah. And Michael's like, idiot, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. And then Dwight snaps and is like, what? You're calling me an idiot? Like, he's up there trying to defend him. He's like, you're just a small, pathetic little man. You have no friends, no family, and no land. And he walks off stage and everyone cheers. Well, now it's Pam's turn. I remember so clearly shooting this. I remember because after roasting him about falling for internet scams and being lazy at work, I had to say that Michael's penis is small. I mean, this is the ultimate nail in the coffin of the roast. For Michael in particular. I mean, Michael, who's like, I know, thinks he's like the womanizer. Because remember, in an earlier episode, Pam knocked on the door and Michael said, come in, and he did not have his clothes on. And Pam was like, why did you say come in? He was changing for Fun Run. Exactly. So Pam is going to call that back, and she's going to make a joke at his expense. We did this a few ways. That we started by having me just say it on the stage, but then they thought this is kind of a low blow, right? Yeah, and it's bold for Pam. It is. So they were like, let's try this one on the move. Yeah, like a throwaway. Exactly. And so that's what ended up making it into the episode. And then we have an old tech alert that helps you really just punch him one more time. Oh yeah, everyone's like, how small is it? And then Pam says, if it were an iPod, it'd be a shuffle. Do some people even know that joke? Do they even get that joke? Do people still have iPods? It was a big deal. We were so excited to have our iPods with all of our music on it. Just music. Only music, guys. And they came in different sizes, and Shuffle was the smallest. Yeah, and you could get a tiny one and like clip it on your like armband and go running. I never did that because I don't run, but you could have. You could have. It looked cool. Yeah, with your headphones that had a cord that had to go to it, so you couldn't pump your arms too hard. No. Oh, how many times did I just yank that cord out of my iPod? I know. Because I was gesturing, not exercising. I'm so sorry. Please don't get the wrong idea. I was gesturing wildly. Well, now Daryl's going to come up, and this one was really cringy. Daryl says, Michael, you always say we're family, right? Yep. So if you're family, you know everyone's names. What's that guy's name? And he points to a warehouse employee. And Michael clearly doesn't know his name, and it's so awkward. His name is Michael, and not only is his name Michael, but Michael gave him a car ride home, and they were in traffic for like an hour together. Awkward. But really, what rounds it all out is everyone singing What I Hate About You. Yeah. Andy gets up. Yeah, he's written the song. We have it. We gotta hear it.
What I hate about you, you really suck at the ball. You're the easiest, jerkiest, and you're dumber than applesauce. We're so pathetic to you all day. Stanley tried to die just to get away, but it's true. That's what I hate about you. That's what I hate about you.
That was so amazing. It was so amazing on the day. We were all singing. I want you guys to know, people have asked, you know, Ed did not write those lyrics. That was written by our writers. Ed figured out how to play the song on the guitar, but that was scripted. It was so good. So good. But you know what? Our writers could throw Ed anything. And I felt like he just was like, done. I mean, that's a good thing to have. It is. Secret weapon. Secret weapon. Well, guys, Michael isn't happy. It looks like he might cry. And then the next day, the phone rings, and Pam says Michael's not in the office. Michael didn't come to work. No. He's so depressed. Dwight says it's very unusual for Michael not to show up. He is either depressed or maybe he's been impaled by an icicle. He does have a terrible habit of standing underneath them, staring up at them, despite Dwight's many warnings. Many warnings. The gang is in the break room, you know, sort of saying, is he okay? What should we do? Yeah. And Creed has one of those lines, Jenna, that made John break. Yeah. It's a classic Creed line. Phyllis says, I hope he's okay. I feel bad. Creed says, give it up. He's dead. Jim says, he just sent a text. Creed goes, what's a text? What's a text? Sent everyone into laughing fits. That aspect of Creed's character was John's kryptonite. Yes. Yeah. That you're not real. What's a text? Yeah. He loved that stuff. Well, we do eventually find Michael. He is sitting alone at a playground in a black turtleneck with a black coat. He looks the sleekest he's ever looked. Like, what is this casual outfit? I know, and he has like nice jeans on with like appropriate sort of black dress shoes, kind of. He's feeding full slices of bread to invisible birds. Yeah. I'll have you know, this location alert, this was North Hollywood Community Center Park, where we shot this little bit of Steve and his turtleneck. There's lots more in the deleted scenes. Him talking to little kids, him trying to shoot baskets, like, yeah. Michael explains in a talking head that, you know, sometimes he has to get away. He needs to get perspective. And we learn, like, he is not okay. Right. But him imagining a spaceman on a star very far away, that might help him get that perspective. Yeah. Back in the office, Dwight is still trying to get Phyllis's signature. She's the only one. She's the only one that hasn't signed. So guess what? Delivery. There's a delivery man. Yeah. Who has come in a very, I would say, noticeably generic uniform. Mm-hmm. There's a package for Phyllis, but she has to sign for it. Yeah. I loved this gag. She signs the clipboard, and as soon as she signs, the clipboard like disappears from the man's hands. It's got like one of those chains, and it's being dragged away. The pen has a chain to the clipboard. And it's Dwight over in the hallway. He got his signature. He did. Well, this was a fun cameo played by our very own producer, James Carey. Yes, James Carey, who's been helping us out on the podcast. Yeah. This is him. If you wondered what he looked like, there he is. There he is. James was on the show the whole time. Yeah, he was with us from the very beginning. So it was really fun to have him on stage with us filming. And we reached out to him and asked him about this moment. James said that he never asked to be an actor on the show. And one day he just got this random phone call from Ben, who worked in Allison Jones's office. Ben was Allison's casting associate. And he told him, we have a role in Stress Relief. There's one line. We'd like you to play it. And James was like, yes, of course I said yes. And this was just, a cool thing that Greg and Allison would do from time to time. They would feature longtime crew members in the show. Well, we would always get really excited. And James told us that for him, the day on set was really fun, exciting. I mean, he worked for a long time in the entertainment industry, but he said when you're in front of the camera and other people are depending on you to hit your mark and deliver your dialogue, all of a sudden he got really nervous. And he said he was expecting a little more directing because he's not an actor at all. But they didn't really give him much. They were just like, go there, say your line. But he did say after one or two takes, Jeff Blitz suggested to him, maybe look like you're up to something, give it a little something. And he's like, I think that's the take they used. But his whole family saw it because it was on after the Super Bowl. Yes, but James said when they first said, we've got a role for you, it's one line as a delivery man, he didn't realize it was for the Stress Relief episode. Yeah. So when he said yes, he just wasn't putting it together that he was saying yes to the Super Bowl episode. He said his dad was particularly excited. And when he told his brother and sister at first, he said he thinks they didn't believe him. They thought he was kidding. Yeah. He said they were like, yeah, sure, you're going to be on. Yeah, whatever. And then there he was. He was on it. Well, the episode is wrapping up, and so is the movie, Mrs. Albert Hannity. Mm-hmm. Andy's moved to tears. He's watching Jack Black and Cloris Leachman break up. Yeah, she's very slowly moving up the staircase in her special motorized chair. He's crying, saying, hit reverse. So I shared last week that we shot this on location at a house in West Los Angeles. Randy told me the house already had this chairlift. We did not install it. I would think that they scouted a house with a chairlift. He also said that because they wanted this mini film to really look like a real movie, we shot the Mrs. Hannity sequence on film. Dang! It was our first time shooting something for our show on film. We normally used the digital cameras. We even had a Steadicam film camera. And since they only had one day to shoot all these scenes, Jeff Blitz and Randall Einhorn did a full blocking rehearsal with stand-ins where they planned out every single shot. They created official storyboards just like you do on a film. And Randy even sent us pictures. Yeah, and they exactly match the mini movie. There's a woman who's standing in for Cloris Leachman, kind of slowly moving up the staircase, and that is how they were able to get this elaborate shoot done on film, which normally takes a lot longer than shooting on digital. They could do it in one day. Yes, so Randy sent us pictures of how they staged it, and it was so fun to see them because Anna, who was in charge of locations, played Jack Black, and then Jasmine, who was our second AD, plays Cloris Leachman. So we'll have to put one of those pictures in our stories. It was fun to see their faces. In addition to wrapping up the movie storyline, we're going to find out what exactly Jim said to Pam's dad. Yeah, Pam's dad comes to the office and they have this whole conversation in the parking lot. Now, we can't hear it. We see it, but we don't know what they're saying. We had a fan question from Stephanie P. What did Pam say to her dad in the parking lot? There was never any dialogue for this in the script. This was always a silent spy shot. In fact, here's what it said. It said, Jim's POV, Pam is talking with her father. The conversation goes back and forth. Pam looks angry. The dad says something. She looks up at Jim with tears in her eyes. The dad leaves, and Pam walks back inside. So you guys just had to fill in the blanks there. We did. Now, Pam's dad was played by Rick Overton, and he will be back again in Niagara. And Rick is actually a really funny guy. He's like an improvisation comedy veteran. He's also a writer. He won an Emmy for writing an episode of Dennis Miller Live. So it's funny to me how we would cast people with great pedigree to stand and do a silent POV shot in the parking lot. Yeah. But that was because this is a big role, Pam's dad. If we bring him back, we need to make sure this person has the chops to go the distance. Yeah. And Rick was great. And we just improvised dialogue. We just improvised what he might be saying to her that would cause her to be hurt. It was mostly a spin on like, I'm sorry, but I need to leave your mother. You know, he knew that scripted line that Pam says later, and he would say that to me, and I would look up at the window and all that kind of stuff. So yeah. But he was great. And by the way, he reached out to us because he knew we were coming up on this episode. And he said, if you would not mind, would you tell people that I have a new improvised stand-up special called Rick Overton's Set List? And you can find it through Comedy Dynamics. Oh, nice. And we can put a link in the show notes for anyone who wants to check it out. That's great. Well, this all leads us into this Pam talking head that gets quoted back to me all the time. It's a very sweet talking head. It is. Pam says, when you're young, you assume your parents are soulmates. Her kids are going to be right about that. Yeah. Andy overhears it, throws papers in the air because he's like, his whole running bit is that Pam and Jim are sort of relationship geniuses and that they can see all of this stuff happening in a movie that he can't see. Yes. This deep relationship, like storyline, he just can't see because it's not there, Andy. No. He says he would never be insightful enough to be a movie critic, but he could maybe be a food or art critic. Here comes Michael in his black turtleneck and his black coat. I'm still like obsessed with this outfit. He said he spent the afternoon in the park trying to feed pigeons, but I guess they'd all flown west for the winter. Yeah. And he just had some thoughts he wanted to share with everyone. Pam says what? And he said I wrote them down so I wouldn't forget. Oh boy, here it comes. This is the Boom Roasteds. It is. Boom, roasted. So, you know, I told you that Halstead Sullivan came up with the idea for the roast storyline. Yeah. I had to know who came up with Boom Roasted. Who did? All right. I got a hot tip that it might be Justin Spitzer or Gene Stupnitsky. Okay. I reached out to them. And nope. They thought maybe it was Charlie Grandy.
I thought it was from
Was it? I don't have Charlie's info. Oh. So I reached out to Jen Salata. Plot thick.
At least don't do anything else.
Yeah. These are the emails I exchange with people. I know. Oh, I know. Jen said, I think so, but let me text him.
And then I just love Jen Salata so much. I know. She writes me back, "Boom roasted was Charlie!" 3 exclamation points. We did it. So I wrote Justin and I said, "Justin, it was Charlie Grandy." And he said, "Great, I would like some credit on the podcast for sending you down the right road." I said, "You will get it." Thank you, Justin. Thank you, all of you guys. I know. I had to know. Boom roasted. It's so famous. Roasted? Charlie Grandy. Charlie Grandy. Well, I think we need to hear these. I'm going to read them to you. Michael says, "Jim, you're 6'11" and you weigh 90 pounds. Gumby has a better body than you." Boom, roasted. Dwight, you're a kiss ass. Boom, roasted. Pam, you failed art school. Boom, roasted. Meredith, you've slept with so many guys, you've started to look like one. Boom, roasted. Kevin, I can't decide between a fat joke and a dumb joke. Boom, roasted. Creed, your teeth called, your breath stinks. Boom, roasted. Angela, where's Angela? Oh, there you are. I didn't see you there behind that grain of rice. Boom, roasted. Stanley, you crush your wife during sex and your heart sucks. Boom, roasted. Oscar, you are gay. Boom, roasted. Andy, Cornell called. They think you suck and you're gayer than Oscar. Boom, roasted. Well, now Stanley is cackling, hysterically laughing. He can't stop laughing. I mean, it's egging Michael on. He's laughing. Everyone seems to have turned a corner. Michael is very good at roasting, I guess. And Michael has a talking head that wraps up the whole moment. He says, "They say that laughter is the best medicine. So Stanley, you can throw away those pills. You are cured." Actually, you know what? You better hold on to those pills just in case. Well, lady, I had a lot of fun looking at the candy bag alternates for this as well. Oh, what do you got? Oh, okay. So first of all, with a lot of characters, they had a lot of roastable things. Your character of Angela Martin, every roast is a spin on hiding behind a grain of rice. Everyone. It was so funny to me. They clearly came up with that idea. I couldn't see you behind that grain of rice. And they were like, "That's it. We're not going to do better than that." Because there were some slight alternates, but it always ended with, "Oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't see you behind that grain of rice," which was very funny to me. Here are a few of the alternates that stood out to me. "Oh, Pam, did you not hear me through that dirty mop you call hair?" Boom, roasted. Oh my God. And this one. "They say people tend to be attracted to people who look like themselves. So I don't know what happened with Jim and Pam. Their kid's gonna look like a pair of stilts with boobs. Have fun giving birth to that, Pam." Boom, roasted. And this is my favorite. There's a whole page of Toby boom roasted. Oh my gosh. But they are all just Michael telling him to F off and that he hates him. Here's an example in all caps. "Toby, f you. I hope you die." Boom roasted. That's it. Well, the episode's gonna end with our movie, Mrs. Albert Hannity. And it's a real surprise ending. Yeah. Big twist at the end. Twist. Jack Black is Sam. He's returning to Lily's house, played by Cloris. He's got flowers and a walking cane in his hand. Yeah. He's running up to the front door. Mm-hmm. As he gets there, he looks through the window. She's with another man, another young man. Yeah, and they are in the throes of passion. It's very, very, very much of a love scene. It's a makeout. It's a big makeout. It's a real big makeout. The man she is making out with is her writer's assistant, Nate Fetterman. Nate, we had to know, how did you get this job? He sent in this audio clip, and I promise you, you will hang on his every word.
Hi, my name's Nate Fetterman. I was one of the writer's assistants on Stress Relief, and I got to make out with Cloris Leachman. And this is my story. Originally, my part was supposed to be for Zac Efron, and there were actual lines, but he turned it down, and so did Courtney Blue and Christopher Mintz-Plasse. And the day before it was supposed to shoot, they hadn't cast it, and all the lines had been cut. And they really just needed somebody who was young, looking to make out with Cloris Leachman. They didn't have to be handsome or famous. So enter me, Paul Lieberstein and Jeff Blitz, who was directing the episode, pulled me aside at work and asked me if I was interested in doing the part. And I'm not an actor. The last time I performed was in 5th grade. I was Muddle the Tailor in Fiddler on the Roof. And I froze in the middle of Wonder of Wonder, Miracle of Miracles, and the audience laughed at me, and it was scarring. But I was really excited to earn $500 and residuals. So I said, sure, I'll do it. At the time, I was so terrified of letting the show down. I was working with all these incredible actors and actresses who actually knew what they were doing, and I just didn't want to screw things up for everybody. So I went home that night. I told my girlfriend, now my wife, about what I was going to have to do, and I was really scared. So I practiced with her, and I didn't get much sleep that night. And then I woke up early the next day, and I arrived on location, and I was just terrified because I was so out of my element. I'm in hair and makeup, and they're doing my hair, and all of a sudden I feel these hands running through my hair, and I hear this voice go, I hear that you and I are going to be doing some kissing later. And I turn around, and it's Cloris Leachman. She's smiling at me, and I'm like, yeah, we're going to be doing the scene together. So then we go to the actual set, and I'm riding in a van with Cloris Leachman and Chad Black and Jessica Alba. These are, big name stars, and I'm the writer's assistant on The Office, and so out of my element. And I'm just desperate not to seem like a total hack and screw things up for everyone. So eventually it's time for the kissing scene with Cloris. And we're positioned on a couch. She's sitting on my lap, and I have my arms around her, and we're talking, and it's very pleasant, and she's very nice, and she's telling me about her children. But then right before we do the actual take, she gets real serious, she's getting into character. And she looks me in the eye, and I'll never forget this. She goes, when they call action, I want you to grab my ass and really get up in the crack. So when they called action, I grabbed her ass, and I really got up in that crack.
Hell yeah.
And we did the scene. We shot it many times. They had to get it from a lot of different angles. So we ended up making out quite a bit. She did say a variety of other pretty raunchy things. She's an expert at dirty talk. But it was an amazing experience, and I'm incredibly grateful that my 5 seconds of fame were spent with an absolute legend like Cloris Leachman. And it's something that I always get a kick out of when I get to tell people.
Nate, thank you. Thank you for sharing your story. I mean, what an amazing story. Amazing. Hey, Nate, Zac Efron isn't available. What are you doing tomorrow? Yeah. Can you do something for me real quick? Sure. What is it? It's just that scene where you make out with Cloris Leachman. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, okay. Sure. I guess so. And you get $500. Yeah. And a great story. And a story for your lifetime. Yes. You know what? In these kind of over-the-top moments, you have to go for it. And Cloris was saying, sweetie, I give you permission to go for it. You grab my butt. Sell it. That's what the scene needs. And we can't be shy with each other. Yeah, we have to go for it. And I've been in situations with actors where we've given one another permission. Yeah. And it's so helpful because it gets you out of your head. And you're like, okay, good. Now we can just have fun with it. Have fun with it. I mean, you guys watch every single Dwight Angela make out. Exactly. Sometimes you just got to go for it. And on our set, I think we were so good about being like, okay, I'm cool with this. You do this. We're fine. We communicated. And I have to imagine you're with this legend performer, Cloris Leachman. I'd be timid. Yes, you've never met this person. Yeah. So for her to just be so fun and up for it like that, and to just say, do it, baby, do it. I love it. Yeah. Well, there you have it. Stress relief, part 2. Do you feel less stressed? Have you had some relief of your stress after listening to this podcast, everyone? I hope so. I hope our podcast doesn't stress people out. If we can leave anything with you from stress relief, other than boom roasted, yep, it's, I was going to say that. Staying alive, staying alive, staying alive. Oh my God, that was, now people are stressed. We relieved their stress, and then we gave it right back. I'm so sorry. Start over. Start the podcast again.
Well, you guys have a great week. We'll see you next week for Lecture Circuit, Part 1. I can't wait. I have so many stories. Thank you for listening to Office Ladies. Office Ladies is produced by Earwolf, Jenna Fisher, and Angela Kinsey. Our show is executive produced by Cody Fisher. Our producer is Cassie Jerkins, our sound engineer is Sam Kiefer, and our associate producer is Ainsley Bubico. Our theme song is Rubber Tree by Creed Bratton. For ad-free versions of Office Ladies, go to StitcherPremium.com. For a free 1-month trial of Stitcher Premium, use code OFFICE.
Well, of course, that has changed, and what ended up happening civilian group of people, and those are appointed by
Most people give up on their resolutions by mid-January. Walmart Plus can help save yours this year by saving you time and money. Walmart Plus is the membership with benefits like gas discounts, video streaming, plus so much more. Is your resolution to simplify your life? With free delivery, Walmart Plus makes ordering what you need online a no-brainer. Join now. New members get $50 in Walmart cash to get what they need to help save their resolution. Terms apply. See walmart.com/plus for details.
Did you know that the bold, smooth taste of Dunkin' cold coffee can be brewed in your Keurig coffee maker and enjoyed at home? You heard that right. Dunkin's cold K-Cup pods were crafted to be brewed hot and enjoyed cold. Each Dunkin' cold K-Cup pod is packed with the smooth, bold Dunkin' flavor you crave. Pick up a pack of Dunkin's cold K-Cup pods and enjoy a Dunkin' cold coffee at home whenever you crave it. Just brew over ice and sip in seconds, because the home with Dunkin' is where you want to be. I'm Jenna Fisher.
And I'm Angela Kinsey.
We were on The Office together.
And we're best friends.
And now we're doing the Ultimate Office Rewatch podcast just for you.
Each week, we will break down an episode of The Office and give exclusive behind-the-scenes stories that only 2 people who were there can tell you.
We're the Office Ladies. Angela just turned out the lights in the studio.
Okay, here's the thing. There's a lot of buttons. Well, this is what I want from a light switch. I want 1 button. There's 4 buttons over there.
There's more than 4. You guys, it is a complicated light switch.
Thank you.
But we like to listen to our theme song to get in the mood. So we're listening to it with you. All during our theme song, Angela is pressing the buttons. The lights are going up, they're going down, they're fading in.
There's track lighting, then there's these other kind of lights.
Ceiling lights.
Then there's 4 lamps.
We should turn some of the lamps on.
That might help me.
We need the light because our eyes are fading.
Because I can't see, guys. That's what's happening. But all right, we're here. The lights are on, and we are ready.
We are ready for Lecture Circuit Part 1, Season 5, Episode 16, written by Mindy Kaling and directed by Ken Kwapis.
It's an official 2-parter.
It is, and I've got a whole fast fact about it.
Oh, look how your face just lit up. You're so excited.
I am. Here is your summary. Michael, accompanied by Pam, is embarking on a 3-day lecture tour of the nearby Dunder Mifflin branches.
I need to stop you 1 second.
Yeah.
3 days.
Yeah.
3 days. Pam is going to be on the road with Michael.
And she's so cheery about it.
At the beginning.
Well, you know, Michael's branch is outselling all the other branches. David Wallace is perplexed.
What's that secret sauce?
Please go to the other branches and tell them all about it.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to start in Utica. This is where they're going to run into Karen, and they are met with a surprise.
Yeah.
But back in Scranton, we reveal that Jim and Dwight are now the co-heads of the party planning committee. And they forgot Kelly's birthday.
And she is ticked off.
Oh, that is an understatement. Meanwhile, Andy has a crush on one of Stanley's clients. Fast fact number 1. Lecture Circuit is a 2-part episode. It aired 2 different weeks, and this is our first episode to ever feature a to be continued message, you know, at the end of the episode. But Lecture Circuit was not written as 2 episodes. It was 1 script, like your regular 41 pages long. We
We shot it in 5 days.
So why did they make it a two-parter, Jenna?
I will tell you.
I thought you might.
I was trading emails with director Ken Quapis. He told me that when they went to assemble it in the editing room, there was so much good stuff. His director's cut was 35 minutes long. He showed it to Greg, and he said, Greg, I can't cut anymore.
That's it. It's got to be 35 minutes, Greg.
Yeah, make it supersized.
Yeah.
Or something.
Something.
Greg said, I agree. We can't lose any of this. Let's turn it into 2 episodes. And Ken said he was thrilled.
That's amazing.
That's how good it was.
Yeah.
Mindy and Ken turned in that good of an episode. Well, fast fact number 2. When they broke up the episode into 2 episodes, they did actually need more storylines to fill out each half. So they knew that the lecture circuit story and the birthday party story would remain in both episodes, but it actually wasn't enough for 2 complete episodes. So they had to write 2 more stories.
And what were those?
I will tell you, for this episode, they added the storyline of Andy wanting to date Stanley's client, Julia. Yeah,
That makes sense because in the original script, it's not in there at all.
no. And then for the second half, which we will get to next week, they wrote a very interesting storyline for you and your cats.
Oh, yeah. I have stories, guys.
So let's talk about this storyline with Stanley and his client Julia that they added. The reason that he doesn't meet with his client in the conference room is because the conference room was busy being a birthday party.
Sure, it was being decorated.
So they did all of that in the break room. And also, that way they could insert it into the episode wherever they wanted, and it wouldn't affect any of the continuity of the other story.
And they could shoot it later because that's what we did.
Yes, we shot these 2 additional storylines a full month later.
That was the crazy thing. For me, they were like, okay, you have a whole storyline. It's going to be a lecture circuit. We're shooting it in 3 weeks.
Yeah, because they had to write it.
Yeah.
Should we move on to fast fact number 3?
Well, you sound eager. I think we should.
Well, it's a location breakdown.
You love a location
I really
breakdown.
do.
I know.
I love knowing where we made this stuff happen.
Yeah. You want to be in the room where it happens.
Hamilton.
Hey, room where it happens.
I love that. I really love that song.
I do too.
Okay. We had a fan question from Joe S. Jenna, did you and Steve film your scenes in the car in a single day or multiple days? And where did you drive around to film the car scenes? I'll tell you. We shot all of the driving scenes for both Lecture Circuit 1 and Lecture Circuit Part 2 on the same one day.
Oh, wow. So you had a full day in the car.
Yep, just driving around. It was Wednesday, November 5th.
Look at you.
Someone got the call sheet and looked at it.
And that someone is Jenna Fisher.
Yes, thanks to James Carey. So here's where we went. We made a loop of 3 streets in North Hollywood. Nordhoff, Satakoy, and Plummer.
I recognize Satakoy.
Yeah, that's also the street that our sound stages were on.
That's the street we drove on every single day.
To get to work.
Yeah.
I will tell you, I was not actually driving in these scenes.
You weren't?
No.
You did some good fakey driving.
Thank you so much.
I was going to ask you if you drove at all.
I did not.
Oh.
They had the car loaded onto a rig, and it was being pulled by a precision driver.
Okay.
I'm not much of a precision driver. I wouldn't describe myself that way at all. Precision is not the word I would think of to describe my driving.
Jenna, I've ridden with you in a car.
I know.
You know, you're a very safe driver. But you,
what are you going to say?
I don't know, it's like you grip the wheel with both hands.
I do. I'm a 10 and 2.
You're a 10 and 2, and then you just kind of, you look straight ahead, and sometimes I'm like, you know, you can go around them, Jenna. There's a whole lane that's empty right next to you. We've been behind Pokey Pokerson for like half an hour. 10 and 2, turn a little bit and go around them.
Can I say something right now? This driving does actually sound very precise.
Okay, well,
maybe I am a precision driver and I don't know it.
You're a slow precision driver. You're not going to be taken any courses where you're like zipping around any cones? You'll get
I'm
around.
sorry,
those.
are you doing cone courses in your free time?
Yeah.
Is that your hobby?
You might know this about me. I'm a freaking badass. Like I actually, by the way, I did pull off the road. Like we did all that driving sequence. I was driving when Dwight runs me off the road. That was me.
Oh yeah. What do you want?
I want my precision driving trophy. It's a little gold like street cone.
All right, I'll find one for you and I will get it for you.
Okay. So anyway, you were not driving.
I
I
was
shot
not
all in
driving.
one day.
We shot it all in one day. And then the next day, we shot everything at the Utica branch. And we started with all of the interior scenes. And we shot at this building in Chatsworth, California. It was on Hordoff Street. And we started very early that day. We started at 5:30 in the morning.
That was your call time?
Yeah. And the crew call was 6:30 and the shooting call was 6:45. What that means is that we had the goal of arriving at 5:30, rehearsing at 6:30, and we had to start shooting by 6:45 a.m.
That's an early day.
And we did it. All right, so before we go to break, lady, I think we should give a little book update.
Book update, Office BFFs.
Office BFFs is the name of our book that we have been working on for,
Oh, good Lord, 3 years.
longer than I can imagine.
Oh my goodness. We've been sharing on our Instagram like our journey as we're writing this together. And guess what? Well, you might know if you follow us. We finished our manuscript.
We turned in our manuscript.
Someone throw some confetti.
Please, your husband Josh did throw confetti when you told him that we had finished it. It was so sweet. But now we are in this really fun part where we are going through all of our photos.
So many photos.
And they're so good because you guys, the reason we wanted to write this book in the first place was because we did this big clean out of our garages and your shed and
Oh my gosh.
my basement.
Basically, it's everywhere we stash stuff.
Yeah.
And you know what we found out?
What did we find?
We're big stashers.
We did not need to find that out, lady. I think we knew that.
Oh my gosh.
But it's true. And we saved everything. Every scrap of paper, every ticket stub.
Here's the other thing too. Not only do we save everything, but like our family does. I have a whole envelope from my cousin Carol of all of these clippings. Thank you, Carol.
Well, all of this stuff is going in the book.
I don't know that we can put all of it in the book. The book would be like 800 pages.
That's true.
Some of this stuff is going in the book, but it's all really fun. And you guys, I just am so excited for you to get it and to hold it in your hands and to have it.
Me too. I'm excited to go on our book tour. What? Lady, you know, when your book comes out, you go on a tour and you like sign it and you meet people. We're going to get to go on Lego Ladies.
A road trip! A road trip! I hadn't even thought that far ahead. I'm sorry I'm yelling. I'm so excited. Okay, you know this has been something I've wanted for a long time, which is the BFF road trip.
I know it's going to happen.
Like a real deal road trip where we go to multiple cities.
Well, it's happening. Get ready for it. Office BFFs with all our hoarded stuff and all of our great stories. It's coming your way soon.
Oh my God, I didn't even think about going on tour.
Well, there you go. There's our book update, life update.
Hit the road update. Like, I'm already excited. The book is not even done, and I'm like planning our road trip. Oh, I have my places I like to stop and snack at.
What are they? Where will I be snacking?
I love a good, like, just greasy burger joint.
For sure, right?
Also, I love the Frito chili chips, you know?
Oh,
I
really?
know.
You can eat
Everyone,
Frito chili chips
everyone
around
says
me?
they stink up
It's
the
so
room.
stinky, lady.
I know. I love them. Okay. They're one of my go-to road trip snacks.
Okay. All right, we're going to go to break now, and I'm going to just try to convince Angela to eat regular Fritos. I love a regular Frito, especially with some queso.
Oh, you know what I love a regular Frito with?
What?
A Frito chili pie.
So
Like in the
hungry
bag.
now.
I know. All right,
We'll
to
be
me.
back in a second. For 175 years, Gorton's has been committed to spreading the goodness of the sea by making quality seafood accessible to everyone while responsibly sustaining its future.
Over 99% of Gorton's seafood is certified as responsibly sourced.
And Gordon's reached out to us and said, do you want us to send you some of our fish sticks, some of our products, so you can become familiar with it before you speak about it on the podcast? And I was like, Gordon's, I've got you in my freezer right now.
Yeah, you
Okay.
do. You do. Your kids love the fish sticks.
Yes, it's our fave.
Guess what I got? I got the Southern style shrimp. It is so good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, when you're looking in the freezer aisle, the Gordons are in the yellow package. They've got the iconic fisherman on the cover. This brand has been around since I was a kid.
Same. Gordon's is actually a brand that's been around for 175 years.
Oh my gosh.
That's
Yes.
so rare. Well, we love Gordon's, and it can help you make your mealtime easy. Visit Gordons.com to learn more, find a store, and get a recipe inspiration.
Whether your resolution is to save money, eat better, or stress less, HelloFresh is here to help you do all three.
Yes, you guys, I love HelloFresh. Jen and I both love it. You know why we love it. And guess what I made the other night?
What?
It was so delicious. I made their pub-style shepherd's pie.
I've made it.
Yes, it's so good. White cheddar and prime mashed potatoes.
I know it very well. It's a family favorite.
Well, you know, Josh normally makes dinner, so this was my turn, and I made this, and he loved it, and I was so happy. I was like, I made a shepherd's pie. I'd never made one before.
It's so good. Everyone, you can say hello to your most delicious year yet with fresh ingredients, chef-crafted recipes, all at a price you'll like, delivered right to your door. Go to HelloFresh.com/OfficeLadiesFree and use code OfficeLadiesFree for free breakfast for life.
One breakfast item per box while subscription is active. That's free breakfast for life at HelloFresh.com/OfficeLadiesFree with code OfficeLadiesFree.
HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp.
You know, around New Year's, we all reflect, and people really start making lists of what they can do to be their best self for the next year.
Yes, I think, the new year definitely makes you think New Year's resolution. What do I want to change?
New year, new me, that kind of thing.
Yes, but perhaps this year we could be reflecting on what we're already doing right.
Yeah.
And therapy can help you figure out your strengths so that you can ditch this idea that you need some extreme change or this extreme New Year's resolution and just, you can make changes that really stick because they're based on your strengths.
I like that.
If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try.
It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule.
Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge.
Celebrate the progress you've already made. Visit BetterHelp.com/OfficeLadies today to get 10% off your first month.
That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/OfficeLadies.
We are back. We're in this episode now. Michael, you guys, oh my gosh. A phone guy came in to fix his phone and showed him the PA system. You can't show Michael Scott the office PA system.
You definitely cannot.
He is really goofing about now.
Yeah, he pretends to be a plane captain, a ghost. He forgets the intercom is on while he's talking to his doctor about his mole. He calls Toby into the principal's office for wetting his bed. I think we should hear it. Can you play the clip?
Yeah.
This is your captain speaking. The office will be wide at an altitude of 2 stories. Look out your left-hand window and you will see fast refrigeration. I am the ghost of town Belfast. Do not come near me. Yes, Michael Scott for Dr. John, please. Hello, doctor. I was just following up about my mole again. Now, I was looking online about sebaceous nip. I have not been squeezing it. Could I stick it with a pin? You'll be summoned into the principal's office. Your mother called, and it appears that you wet the bed again. So you have to get home and wash your sheets because they're yellow and they're wet with your urine.
My personal favorite part of that is the coughing. Yes, I loved listening to him cough. It reminded me of the tiramisu coughing fit that he had on the phone with David Wall.
Steve Carell is a master at fake laughing.
and fake coughing. Yeah. You believe it? We had a fan question from Virginia S. When Michael is on the PA system, were any of his announcements improvised or were they all in the script? For example, the announcement that Toby has wet his bed is hilarious. All right, they had several alts, and the one that was actually in the script for Toby read like this. Toby Flenderson to the principal's office, you are in trouble for sucking. That's pretty good. That's what was in the script. Well, I read the script while I watched this portion, and I would say that a lot of it was scripted, but Steve definitely did do improvisations off of what was written. And I'm sure Mindy was pitching things to him too on the day. Yes. But I noticed that the line about Ghost of Christmas Past, that was scripted, but the coughing bit was not in the script. Really quickly. I feel like we need to point out something at 27 seconds. What's that? What's up with Angela's outfit? What is it? It is a poofy, floofy sweater. Oh, yeah. But it's like poofy, like at the shoulder. That was really in, and I feel like that's coming back. What? Like the poofy arms. Oh, we went through a real Shakespeare Renaissance fair thing back then. I'm not here for it. It's coming back, lady. Great. You know what I found in my closet? How do I describe this? I found a ribbon on a hanger, okay? And then clipped to the ribbon were various flowers that I could put in my hair or on my lapel. You could adorn your outfit. Like one of the flowers was like a fabric flower that you would clip on your blazer. Oh, yeah. Was that in for a while? Why do I have 7 flowers to clip to myself? I don't know. It feels very much like a pretty in pink, kind of like a, Molly Ringwald. I looked flower on her hat. Yeah, it brought back no memories when I looked at it. 2 of the flowers were like Hawaiian flowers. I clearly bought them to clip in my hair while on a trip to Hawaii. But the rest were more casual, more everyday. But I'm going to clip one on my blazer lapel when we do our book tour. All right, I'm planting that seed now. I can't wait. It's going to make me real happy. What I won't have on our book tour is a poofy sleeve sweater, because at my age, I don't need any extra poofs. You know what? I'm going to say you will wear that on our book. No, don't say that. Poofy, no-fee sweater thing, and flower lapel. Who are we on this book tour? I don't know. We're interesting people. Well, we'll see. Not dressed well, but interesting. All right, let's get started. This episode opens with Michael exiting a motel room. He knocks on the neighboring door, and out comes Pam. Yes, and in the shooting draft of our script, it says Michael knocks on Pam's door. They say good morning. That's it. They don't even have dialogue written out for you guys. You just sort of greet each other. This is not in the script. When Michael knocks, says hello, good morning. Pam says good morning, and then Michael says, you ready? And we're off like a herd of turtles. That is not in the script. I think Steve improvised that. I will tell you, I absolutely loved doing this episode because I got Steve all to myself. I bet. Just scene after scene of me and Steve, and I loved it. Some of my favorite times in the office were when I just got to have days with Steve, me and Steve. I know. They were brief and few and far between because, Angela Martin hated him, but those were always such a delight. Well, I love this scene of me putting the luggage into the back of the car. I did too. I'm sorry. I thought I did. I'm going to toot my own horn. I thought my heavy luggage acting was superb. It was so great that I wrote a question for you. Here's my fan question. Okay. What was in the bag? It looked really heavy. There was almost nothing in that bag. That was all me. Thank you. I mean, I couldn't be prouder of that. You know what? I want a cone award for my precision driving. I'm going to get you a little tiny suitcase. Thank you. That says great prop work. Prop work award. I don't know if you noticed, but we got a lot of mail about this car. Adele M. wrote in and said, whose maroon Ford is Pam driving? I thought she had a Yaris, and Michael had a PT Cruiser. What is this car? Exactly. Is it a rental car? Listen to this. What? This is a gem from Randy Cordray. He said in an early concept meeting for this episode, it was discussed that Michael would need extra trunk space for all of his props and his trunk and all that stuff, and that it just wouldn't fit in his PT Cruiser. So they said that they thought it would be funny if Michael had to ask the company to provide him with a Lincoln Town car that Pam would drive him around in. But corporate would only approve a cheaper Crown Victoria. So this was always intended to be like a scripted moment where we would explain this. But in the end, it never made the shooting draft. So it comes off a bit confusing, but this was like a whole joke. I love it because Michael thinks he's Carrot Top, right? So he's got to have all of his props and his trunks of crazy gadgets and things. I mean, I'm surprised he didn't dress in a costume. I was too, but yet he gives Pam like some sass about her outfit and says, don't you know what a magician's assistant looks like? I Googled magician's assistant costume. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of fishnet. There's some short shorts. There's a bustier. Mm-hmm. There's a top hat. Yeah, sometimes a skirt. It's a very sexy looking outfit. Yeah. Well, Pam wore her tan cardigan. It's new. I had such a hard time getting through that line because, of course, we knew that line was going to be in the script. So when we picked my outfit for this episode, we thought it was very funny that her new cardigan was like beige. I have another amazing tidbit about this car before we get on the road. The toboggan, yeah, that's on top of the car. All right. The reason that's there is because there was a scene that was written as a tag for this episode. And the scene was going to be Michael and Pam going down a snowy hill on that toboggan. Why didn't that happen? I need to see that. Yes. Well, we'd have to go somewhere with snow. Randy said they went out to scout a snowy mountain. And the photos that they came back with, it just didn't look great. There just wasn't a lot of snow happening at the time that we were shooting this episode. We couldn't go all the way to Mammoth, which is 5 hours away, right? We had to find some place that was relatively close. And there just was no snow. So we never shot it. But there were two options. One was that Michael was going to be going down the hill on the toboggan and Pam was just going to be kind of like standing there. Right. And the other version is that Pam and Michael are sledding down together, but midway down the hill, Pam falls off and rolls to the bottom and Michael says, again! Well, maybe I'm glad you didn't have to do that, Jenna Fisher. No, I so wish I could have gone sledding with Steve. I so wish. That would have been a blast. Back at Dunder Mifflin, Kelly arrives to work and she is really upset. Yeah. I would like to note at 4 minutes, 10 seconds, there is a big door slam. Guys, that front door did not slam. No, it did not. In fact, it had that little suspension thing, you know, that suspension bracket. So it just would shut like, so that was added in post. They had to make it a silent door because a lot of times people would have to enter and we'd be in the middle of a scene and then you would have heard ka-chunk. Right. So it was a does not slam. Right. But they needed to really sell how mad Kelly was. So they put it in. Fakey slam. Well, Mindy says, screw you to Jim and Dwight. She storms off and then Phyllis explains that Kelly is upset because they forgot her birthday yesterday. Yeah. We got a piece of mail, okay, from Zoe S. Here's what Zoe has to say. In this episode, it's the day after Kelly's birthday. Jim and Dwight forgot. Phyllis knew it was Kelly's birthday yesterday. But Kelly says nobody wished her a happy birthday. Zoe would like to know, why didn't Phyllis wish Kelly a happy birthday if she knew? I mean, it's one thing that Phyllis wants to make Jim and Dwight look bad, but Phyllis showed some real sass to Kelly on her birthday. Thank you, Zoe. This is what Angela Martin had to deal with day in and day out. The secret Phyllis sass that people don't see. They just see, oh, nice Phyllis. But there's a deep current of deep, dark, secret Phyllis sass. Mm-hmm. Passive-aggressive Phyllis sass. This leads us into a talking head that I know these two boys loved filming.
Well, they couldn't get through it. They couldn't get through this whole episode. I'm going to be bringing up some bloopers in a minute. It started with the side-by-side talking head. And if you read this talking head in the shooting draft, what made it to screen, you can see they were having some fun. Yeah, they had some improv around what was written. The very top, when Jim says go ahead and Dwight goes, no, you go ahead, you do it. And Jim goes, okay. And Dwight goes, I insist. That was all improvised. Then they get into the part, where they're telling that Angela was blackmailed by Phyllis. That's all scripted. But then Dwight goes, what he said was, and he puts a finger towards Jim's face, and Jim pushes it away and goes, just easy. That's all improv, guys. That's just these two fellas having some fun.
I think I could have told you all that because I know these two so well. And I know the bits that they would do off camera.
What about the one at the end? That was all improv too. That whole, that's on my side. And then Jim's like, so this was fun.
Yes.
That's just them playing around.
Yeah, that's their chemistry. Well, after that talking head, we have a Kelly talking head, where she explains that yesterday was her birthday, everybody forgot, we see that she got all dressed up, there wasn't a party. This 1 minute is full of some amazing background catches.
Oh, let's hear them.
The first one is a fan catch from Ryan W. When they show Kelly all dressed up for her birthday during her talking head, in the background on Dwight's desk, you can see his bobblehead from Angela. Ooh, it's back on the desk. I looked at it. Yes, at 5 minutes, 10 seconds, bobblehead. But also, this is the one I noticed. Creed is milling around in Michael's office. What? Yeah, he's just milling around in there.
What the heck?
What's he doing in there?
I don't know.
I don't either. Those are my background catches.
Those are good catches. Jenna, we all know that Ryan had his list. Remember when he came back?
Yes.
Mad at everyone.
He kept writing down names.
Did you know that